What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck? No!
Sprinkle.
Fuck you! See my sprinkle!
Oh! But it's not the same then! It's not the same Adeppt!
Irish, you're the best player I have ever encountered. Not even Blaze made me realize the futility of my life.
God damn it! Oh fuck!
Irish, please, you're losing. Do something. Oh.
It's okay to lose sometimes. I already have level 2 stealing laser, so he's dead. See that rocket dive? Fuck that rocket dive. That's a backwards cross-up. Fuck off.
Ooh, you didn't even use Blue Sky. Come on, give me some real combos.
I don't believe in blue sky. I don't believe in weather. I don't believe in delay. It's just pure Soku. Hit me. Fuck off.
Typhoon. Oh.
Shit! That's not Okizeme!
Jesus Christ.
Why? Like,
Ooh, machine wake up.
that's normal? I'm playing Oku? I'm supposed to machine wake up? I'm getting paid for this, you know?
I mean, that's true.
What the fuck?
Ah, the read.
Oh, I was blocking. That was a cross-up.
This guy. I can't believe that happened.
Okay, Oku is a superior character. You can't beat Oku.
The truth is...
I mean, sometimes you can, but it's just all luck. Like, you can't beat Oku by skill.
I mean, you have to skillfully manage to dodge taking those 3-hit counter hits. But fucking English, whatever.
I got the synced. Oh, like this.
Oh no. Adepht was waiting for me. He knew I would tack.
No!
But I knew he would whiff.
Ooh, nice.
What the fuck? Nah, that's fine. I did a little bit of chip damage, so I wasn't perfected. This is still an even game. Shit.
Oh, nice blocking that rocket dive.
Fuck off. Got him. Got him. Got him.
That's also decent.
What do you fuck?
Dead.
I was still waiting on that spring haze and it didn't even help.
Yeah, I think I desync.
Okay.
Yeah, you were the sing.
It's a new game, so whatever.
It's like Irish one.
Yeah.
Totally.
What? Nothing else would ever happen.
I mean, Irish is a good player. There's no way he's going to lose to Oku. It's not like I'm implying you have to be bad to lose to Oku.
Ah, you ducked, you fucking gaylord.
And then
Hit
people
me.
tell...
Wow.
Wow, what happened?
I did bar 5A and it extended my hurt box. That was an accident.
Why that move isn't as good as it should be? Wow.
Because it's dick.
Dick!
That was a reset. I'm proud of it.
Oh, nice! Look at those loops.
Okay.
Didn't you guys already do that?
Yeah, at the end of this one.
Also, what happened to Morphin? Dead.
God, Irish, you're actually good. Wow. Fucking have some pressure. No, no, I'm not going to lose to this fucking... Oh, what am I doing with my life? Damn, wait,
It's not
okay.
perfect.
Yeah,
It's
perfect.
not a perfect.
What?
It's
Yes,
not a
it
perfect,
is.
you got chipped! Wait.
It's a ghetto perfect.
It's one of those busted ass hood perfects.
Oh, Typhoon. Okay, no. That's not.
Actually, I should stop mashing on Wake Up versus Irish. He knows something. Or he doesn't. He's retarded, but can have everything.
Hit me.
What? That fucking beat my tutu! Oh wait, that was not what.
Easy punish.
Got him. Got him. Hit me.
Okay, that doesn't work, and I'm dead because I was expected to like River Mist was bringing him closer, so I thought that I maybe would get the first hit of second level.
Okay, I renamed myself.
Actually, what do I need to rename myself?
5.
5 or 6, doesn't matter. It looks like it's actually fine now.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because he's number 6, so...
What happened to Morph is dead? I can't believe Morph is
Morph
dead.
is dead, Zaton dead, Blaze is dead. I'm currently in the process of killing Adeppt.
Oh, this is the Reject Podcast. I think I'll make the thumbnail the catfish for YouTube.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, 1 second, shit. Okay, I'm good. Hit me.
Ah, this is bullshit.
That's
Got him. Got him.
Oh, the setup.
No, that's just a frame trap, which Adept will always fall for because he doesn't believe in frame traps. He's a true Oku warrior.
Oh, I'm still on time, good.
Oh, hi, Morph.
Why do we always get fucking stages where I don't see your shit?
Wait. He died.
So what kind of shitplay do I see here?
Like, fucking Kyuka being bullshit.
It's not bullshit, it's her normal stuff.
It's just the
Actually,
usual.
Like, see, like, I can't win. Like, there is no way any
Of course you
player...
can, when she stopped here.
Like,
Be like Coco. Be like Coco, just use the free cards. Nah, you confirm that sucks. Coco doesn't confirm his...
Coco is retarded!
Where is Blaze when I need him? God damn it.
Maybe later.
Fucking 2K! Like, random fucking thing!
Got him!
That
Oh, the damage, nice.
and you say Coco is retarded.
Yo, real pressure? You're dead.
I mean, it's I got
Come on, it's just Yuyuko pressure. Genki's gonna tell you that
The person should have ground touched out of the corner. That's
Maybe.
my bad.
I mean... And yeah, Coco was right. This is why Adept doesn't play Rocket Dive.
Why the fuck does this put 7K?
I mean, to be fair, Adepty play with Suo, whatever you do deals more than 2k. I mean, look at this, 3 hits, 2.3.
Ah,
Oh, I was hit on purpose! So I could get these
what are you going to do with
lasers.
this shit?
Oh.
What?
Why is everyone sad?
Because Utsuha is losing, because Utsuha is the queen of the Soku.
But that's why she's losing, right?
Drama queen.
Oh.
Fuck off.
I'm going away.
What is that neutral? What the fuck, guys?
That's some good neutral if you have a so one. Oh.
What?
I mean, she didn't even hit you with the phone, she actually just hit you with the wind.
Yeah, she just blew a lot of wind up Yuko's ass. Oh, I almost got the optimized shit!
Oh.
Hit me! Fucking spring haze!
Aurora, please. Ah, jeez.
You know, that actually makes me think, why don't we have like some sort of streamed game, streamed casuals with several people in the voice chat?
I don't know actually.
That sounds like what Sigurds does.
Yeah.
Does he have more than one person in voice chat?
Or
Does he
Blaze.
ever does it in voice chat? I don't know.
I think he's alone though.
Also, since we're supposed to start in like 2 minutes, should you make this the last one?
Oh, after this one maybe. Because I think.
Damn, big damage.
I mean, you play Yuyuki, you can't say big damage.
Level max. Ooh.
Yeah, now this thing is gonna get retarded. I mean, it wasn't dumb enough before. What the fuck? I've
4K.
never seen so much meterless damage in my life, and that went straight through my fucking
Open tier usage.
Dragon Star.
You lost the entire health bar in like one combo, basically.
Welcome to low
and now,
tier.
what is this shit? I am going to lose the entire bar in the fucking... Like, what is this? Like, how am I supposed to beat those things? Like, it's impossible. You don't beat this shit at all.
By using your goddamn meter, which you don't.
I can't
Good
believe
idea.
Adeppt is fucking dead.
Alright,
Go,
I guess
go
that's
for
it.
the last. Go for the last one, and then we.
Oh. One more then?
Alright.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
have-
Okay, I am going to play actually a good character.
We never start in time anyway, so we might as well.
I am going to play a fucking meme deck for actually good character, and I am going to face roll.
Just
You're gonna
dance
win?
on him.
Yeah. Like, why are we playing on shit stages?
Maybe that's the way to summon Blaze.
Oh my god, it's another shit stage. Okay, Hakurei Shrine. This is the real shit.
1v1 final destination. No items, Fox only.
No weather.
Who is Fox in this game even? I should
Really?
ask Vienna, he might know. Also, your shit is so advanced, my game crashed.
Oh sure, it's Spring Haze again!
With RNG.
Aurora Spring is such majestic creature.
Why would you pick Raisin? I thought you wanted to win.
That's because fucking crazy, like, what's this shit? Like, that's how Raven play.
Yeah, great. 2k damage on a limited combo. That's so much Hisou growth, yeah.
Why is the beginning of every round 1 river mist? Every single time!
Because
What is this?
He's so dumb.
Oh, who's not working? Just switch to top tier.
But what if Utsuo is the top tier? Oh boy! Trying to buff.
the fuck are you doing?
He's buffing.
You
Got
just
him.
sacrificed the buff for another buff. Like, do you even want to get buffed?
Oh, the buff raisin.
I don't think you understand how buff Raven works.
You get plus 10% damage and
Fuck,
minus 10%
that was the wrong card.
damage received.
Oh wait, I am playing versus Fair Bloom, fuck.
Yeah, you're dead.
Fuck, that was supposed to be a 63.
See, on my tier list, this is top versus bottom team, and the results speak for themselves. Nice 2.4k combo and 15 hits. If you played with Tsuru, the enemy would be dead in 15 hits.
Oh damn, the damage.
It's a game crash, I'm watching the stuff delayed.
And it's over. Okay, no.
No, that wasn't a setup. I couldn't really finish the combo there, and still do Sphere Bloom.
He's just going to finish it off with the reversal.
Probably.
I mean, the
Also,
reversal
what
is not
is that
used as
deck?
a reversal, it's used as a whip punish. Well, I guess there I used it as a reversal.
Oh fuck, I am retarded. I could have won.
Maybe we keep telling you that.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I am bad at this game, feel bad. Blaze is going to be disappointed.
Oh yeah, Blaze is gonna be disappointed when he wakes up. Good games.
So never ever.
I can't believe Blaze is dead. So we have a podcast apparently.
Yeah,
Do we?
I don't know.
It's okay, Genki.
No, we don't. We had it 1 hour ago. It's over now.
Let's go home.
Okay,
Oh,
can
man.
you go announce this stuff?
Yeah, sure. So we're starting the Hisou 10 podcast. This is the 10th episode. A community that is immersed. It's just Hisou 10. It's a joke. It's a terrible joke. Hisou 10. So, yeah.
I did it off the first time. No need to repeat it.
I mean, I can try at least, no? So
which
yeah.
podcast number is this?
This
11.
is the 10th.
This is the
So 10th.
So yeah, people, as you currently see, we had a few problems with organization, meaning Zaton died, then Blaze is fuck who knows where. But at
So
least
yeah.
for our Utsuo fuck. And if Blaze doesn't make it, we would just get you in, Ren.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, Blaze will come around, I'm sure. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
Blaze
you
can show up an hour late. I don't mind.
So, as you can see by the title, a community that is more shitpost than Soku. Today is a shitpost episode because we don't really dwell into characters, matchups, and nonsense like that.
I am
We just-
sure we will delve into some matchups.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that this is going.
I mean, arguably, it's the least shitpost episode because it's not about a character, so we're going to talk about really important things.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the general community stuff, so it's going to be a more laid-back episode.
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
The
It's so
podcast
laid
is
back.
online
It's so laid back. We delayed it already by 1 hour. I mean, can't get
We
any
are
more
so-
shit than this.
We are so laid back, the episode just wasn't even happening almost. Okay. So as usual, I think we should start with the recap.
The news.
Yeah, basically our 2 points we have. The first one being Tourneys. And yeah, throw your stuff at me now.
So let's see. Tourneys as usual, we had the Dream Chaser, the Meme Chaser, and what is the other one?
Sunday
Saturday?
Swiss.
Let's
No,
start
no,
with
no.
Dream Chaser.
That was the Sunday Swiss.
Oh yeah, the
Actually-
Sunday Swiss.
Yeah, Sunday Swiss actually cool. I think it got like some people. I want
So-
more people to join Sunday Swiss. I am going to say that this is the most important tournament in my heart.
When is it?
It's on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Oh.
The Sunday Swiss?
I mean, so yeah, why do you like the Swiss so much?
I mean, Swiss is like, okay, Swiss is the system that does not discriminate against lower skill level players. Like, people don't want to join double elimination. I mean, some. I'm not going to say all. Because, like, when you get lose 2 times and go home without winning a single set, it feels really, really bad. In Swiss, you can lose 7 sets in a row and still remain in the tournament. This makes the system a far superior one. Or actually, I mean, it's supposed to be auto-balancing, like it auto-balances the matchups in the middle of the tournament. So after some time, it's supposed to have people of like roughly equivalent skill level to play each other. And that actually doesn't really happen, but still, it's the best system for like casual tournaments, and we have a lot of those actually going. I don't think that there is like, maybe right now somebody is going to tell that I am very, very wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday Swiss is a great tourney format. Like, everybody just kind of gets to play themselves, and people will argue, like, there's no real hype factor to it when you're trying to do, like, a Sunday Swiss stream. Well, by the way, this one was held by Sanger, and, you know, Blaze won, as per usual. But it is a good tourney format. Like, it's for the Soku lovers, you know, it's their tourney. Like,
It's for the players, man.
It's for the people who actually want to play. Like sometimes it like when you play Soku versus like our community is ground in the way where like we play like extremely long sets against a single opponent, and Sunday like Swiss allows you to play several other people in like relatively short time, which is kind of cool because you are going to play people you would have never played.
So I think I can chip in on this because I did 1 Meme Chasers as a Swiss tournament. And one thing I noticed was like a lot of people, they weren't really as worried about doing stuff like coin flips and just playing in high delay games, because even if they lost, it didn't really matter and they could go on. But on the other side, it was basically impossible to stream. I mean, since you got like 5 or 6 rounds, it's just and everybody's playing
Yeah.
at the same time. It's all over the place.
And the real issue with streaming is that, how do I explain it? It's like people play at the same time, and you have the dead time on stream a lot. Like when you in the beginning of like Tor or whatever it's called, like the one set of. Anyway, it doesn't
Yeah, go
at the
on.
beginning of a tour. It's like you pick like pair of players and you stream them. Then they finish. Like you stream it like Ryan versus Blaze, and Blaze won 2-0 because he's good. And then like you're left.
That never happens.
Okay,
That
so
makes me wonder
anyway,
if we should have this kind of tourney format for low-level players, so they all get to play and get more experienced.
And like,
even
oh,
the chat says.
What the fuck? Blaze is here!
Oh, finally, really?
Yo, real?
Yeah!
I'm gonna have to do like quick editing.
No, yes!
He just showed up out of nowhere and he was just like, yo, what's going on?
Everything is going on. Fucking Blaze. So,
Just keep going, he'll join.
okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
the point is that like. Wait, what was I talking? Oh yeah, I was talking about it being hard. Like after you stream the first player, you have like 7 or like whatever remaining count of players that are still playing. You don't really know like where they're playing, how are they playing, did they finish, and you can continuously refresh challenge page, but then you have to like search for sets that are still going. It takes time. Like it's a lot of time where there is nothing really happening on the stream, and whenever like even if you find a player that still hasn't finished it, you don't know how many like who won how many rounds, how many like matches. Is this the last game, or is this like the first game? Because Soku rounds can take like forever, especially against 2 people that are like similar level and like that are newer players. Because games between newer players tend to take a lot more time because like breaking guard is harder.
Yeah, I guess Swiss kind of eliminates that worry because, you know, everybody has to play at the same time, so you know right off the bat if somebody's going way too slow and you can be like, hey, hurry the fuck up.
I mean, the solution some people proposed is that, like, for serious tournament, they're to like hold, something akin the group, get the Swiss tournament and then take like top, like 8 or 16, whatever, into the playoffs and actually stream the playoffs and don't really stream the Swiss system. But I guess that's like for.
That's for stuff like, I don't know, Corner Assault, but Corner Assault has groups, which is basically just Swiss, but in smaller pairs. Anyways, I think...
Out is also...
Yeah.
I actually don't
bigger.
like groups. I mean, the idea of preceded by somebody groups is kinda ridiculous for me, because I am not a believer in preceding by manual hands, because this is rigging. Like, this is actually rigging the tournament.
It's true, it is rigging.
Like,
Yeah.
DC, I can vouch for that.
It's
You can-
legalized rigging.
you can spin it however you want, but you're basically rigging the tournament. And like considering that, like how is it actually seeding doesn't work? Okay, so Tessira takes like the huge bunch of people. Then he takes those are people who are good, and they should probably pass further, right? So he takes 2 people from this group of good people and 2 random scrubs that are from same region and puts them in the one fucking group and repeats this until you run out of good people. And then you don't even give a fuck about who cares.
I mean, that is always supposed to be done when you seed people.
Yeah, I mean, Adepт, you do realize the reason why that happens is because otherwise you put, like, Blaze, Adeppt, IROC, and, like, Ran in one
That's why I
team.
don't believe in groups.
Okay.
You don't need groups. You
Hi, Blaze.
call the Swiss
Oh, yeah,
tournament.
I'm gonna have to switch a few things up now. Just don't mind me, guys.
Anyway.
Do I need to remain name myself?
I gotta open.
We have talked about Swiss enough. I think we should go on to
But yeah,
Dream Chasers.
so yeah, Swiss is... I mean, I guess it's a good way to make a tourney if you are into that. And I
Where's
just
Zero
think...
Fuse's channel. I think
What?
Zero Fuse's channel.
Oh, I give you the link in the.
Blaze, Adeppt, and Irish, go ahead and read podcast channel.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, there you go.
Number 6 Adepт. Oh wait, that's fine.
Okay.
So good old Blaze today went to the dentist.
Anyways.
My
Okay,
teeth
I'm going to like Zaran told me that Swiss winning doesn't matter much. I don't understand why you think so. Like,
I would say it's the opposite.
what's the difference between like if you are aiming for the actually first place in Swiss, like on the level of our community, you still kinda need to win like all the games.
Yeah.
Every game should matter same. I mean, you not knocking people out of the tournament shouldn't like. I mean, I guess it feels a little bit different when
it's
there
all
are
about
less
feels.
stakes. Like, if you lose one round, you are still going to end in top 3, I guess. I mean, not one round, not one match.
Anyways, we spent like 12 minutes talking about one Swiss tournament. We should
Oh,
move on.
it's fine. At least
You're waiting
now
for
we
Blaze
know
anyway.
we know what's up about Swiss tourney, and I think Adeppt has a good point. The Swiss tourney make more room for practice for the players, and are still a big of a challenge. I just think the normal tourneys, double elimination, are more of a journey to the end, and it's more interesting for me at least. But I do understand the liking more Swiss as a style,
I mean,
because
you're
you get to play
thinking-
everyone.
You're thinking from the line, like, how do I say it? Like, it's the standpoint of an actually good player, because you are actually going to experience this journey, like, to the top, whatever, 4 or 8, at least. Because I think you're a good. I mean, now imagine like 30 people that got knocked down. Where is the fucking whole journey when you
Yeah.
like, 0-2?
It's more of a skill check, if you ask me. If you play
Okay. It's a skill check.
And if you die early, then you can still keep playing casuals. It's not like you stop playing Soku for the rest of the day after all.
You actually
you-
do.
Mm,
You
okay.
actually, most people go and watch the tournament instead of playing.
Let me
that's
explain
true.
exactly why I see the stuff like Dream Chaser. If you want to make to show the last Dream Chaser, that's good. It's a journey, but in a certain way, it's like a test of strength, a journey testing your own ability. If you lose at the start, then clearly you weren't ready for it. And I think that's fine. I mean, it's a challenge for yourself, while Swiss is more of a journey to keep growing. I prefer the test of strength because it's a good way to actually get to understand if you actually got better at the game or if you somehow got worse.
What?
Best setup is just Swiss into top 8.
I
Like
mean,
all corner results.
I don't understand. Like, Genki, are you going to say me that you are not going to tell you have improved if you finish at top N in the Swiss? Like, I call bullshit. This is complete
I
garbage.
mean-
Swiss is mathematically correct at predicting top few players of the tournament, depending on the amount of tours you like get. People not taking it seriously is like fucking I don't know. People just want to crush people and get them out of the tournament.
I guess. I mean, does it feel the same playing the Swiss? Swiss, it feels like a giant room where you can train. A normal double elimination feels more like a bunch of tournament fights. I mean, have you ever seen any anime or something? It's always double elimination. No, actually, it's single elimination usually. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball? It's always single elimination.
No, I haven't seen Dragon Ball.
What the fuck?
Dragon Ball sucks! It's
What the fuck?
powering up!
I can't believe
So-
that.
Adept just outed himself in front of 23 viewers.
What the fuck? I can't believe this. Are you what? It's a classic.
Okay, he's dying a little inside.
What the fuck?
Genki, okay, we can start Dragon Ball discussion and I'm going to tell you just exactly why I am not going to watch this shit show.
I can't believe this. Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Maybe.
Adept never had a childhood. I'm so sorry for you, man.
What about Soku? What about Soku?
Are we even about okay. We kinda went off topic, so point is, we had Dream Chaser last Friday. What happened? God damn it.
Wait, who cares? Okay, wait, let me just one last point about. Oh wait, no,
Go! Just stop!
it's not about Dragon Ball. I want to talk about tournaments.
Okay.
I want to ask why isn't Scrabble Friday not a double elimination tournament? I think.
I mean, that's up to Sanger. Sanger hosts Scrubby Friday, and he hasn't hosted one.
Okay, I can
really
kinda understand the idea of the journey to get fucking banned from Dream Chasers, and after that complain on IRC about it.
Shout out to the grind boys.
Okay, so but why is Scrabble Friday not actually, I know there are many.
But it is. I mean, Sunday Swiss is Scrubby Friday.
No, it's not. Scrubby Friday is not on Sunday. It's on Friday.
Yeah.
But it's still full of scrubs.
Actually, wait, where was the last Scrabble Friday? Because I'm
It
not
was
really
like
sure.
3 weeks ago, even 4 weeks ago at this
A
point.
month ago.
5
Is
weeks
it-
ago?
Is it a monthly tournament?
It's an irregular tournament. You have to ask Sanger. I don't know when he does those.
Sanger is watching right now. He can actually.
Hey,
give
Sanger.
an answer.
Tell us, Sanger.
Actually, Ran, Sunday Swiss should be for all players, and you better take this shit seriously. You.
So we're talking about DC right now, right?
Yeah,
And
we
that's
were
what you're
trying
doing.
that.
And you're comparing it to Scrub Fridays?
Okay,
We had this discussion before how, like, the thing about Scrub Fridays is that people were getting out of Scrub Fridays a little too easily, and then what Scrub Fridays was becoming was just pure Scrub tournament. Like people weren't really getting better; they were just winning by the simplest of things. Like you couldn't say somebody was becoming a mid player just because they were winning off of like random counter hits to victory. DC is not that kind of environment. DC hopes to have a competitive environment that raises new players into like the more standard skill level of our community so far.
Yeah, no, especially people. I don't know. I think whenever people end up getting finally banned in Dream Chasers, it's not like it's not just an arbitrary ban. We actually look at people and decide whether or not they would do well in the competition outside of Dream Chasers. People like DeBomb who got banned, DeBomb's not having any trouble competing in Soku Saturday. Like, these are players who are pretty fucking good at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And if it's anyone watching who doesn't know already, like the ban list for DC is run by like me, Genki, Irish, basically the podcast team, and
The
bomb.
the tier list isn't the ban list isn't just like me deciding stuff at random. I ask Irish, the bomb, and Zero Fuse to give me a general end, and then I kind of decide the rest, which isn't much. I just went and checked people, and I banned people that were actually too strong to be in the tourney, like Suwako, who is native. Why was even there?
We got 4 new bans, if you'd like to discuss those.
Yeah, sure. So we got out Suwako, which is native, and there is not much to explain. We simply mixed up him as another player, I think, because he is
Really?
Yes.
You mixed them up.
Okay. He played like 2 times, and both times he reached top 8. Not only that, but if he didn't get extremely bored by something, he would
Fine
have
for you
got.
when you can't stop unintentional smurfing. The fuck?
Yeah.
No,
pretty
I
much.
just. I think we've confused Suwako native for Chub Suwako. I think.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. I mean,
But
Shut up, Genki. Yes,
yeah,
Suwako's good.
Just stop talking. You will just.
Like
I
I
can
know.
understand how that happens because
It
feel
was a
like
name mix-up.
Genki expects more people to like think about if they are banned. Like, I don't know why would you try to enter the tournament.
I
after you
wasn't
got
the only
banned.
one. Okay, I wasn't the only one. I want to defend me by saying I wasn't the only one that thought that Suwako was someone
I
else.
could have told you immediately. I could have told you immediately.
I can actually answer that question for you. Basically, what happens is that everybody is like, alright, am I too good to play in Dream Chasers? No, I'm bad. I can't beat Blaze Dragon. I'm fucking joining.
Oh. Okay, I'm joining next time.
I don't know, like Blaze, how do you feel about the ban list right now? Or how do you feel about people in DC right now?
What's the ban list again?
You can. I can give you the link just about now. Give me a second.
I don't think this serves any point because just looking at the list of names is like, eh.
Then
can
don't
just
do
like-
it right now.
Like I would suggest to send in
Yeah, I posted in
few
the Twitch
entries.
chat. In the Twitch chat.
Okay, while he goes over that, I'd like to say about this Dream Chaser, the one that I actually participated in. My God, that was difficult. Like, not one match during that entire tourney bracket. Like, I know I was in winner's bracket for the longest time and got shut down by Nanyako, who was just really, really good. But
And
like
now
everybody,
really banned.
and really banned.
And
Yeah.
got banned. Yeah.
Everybody's just getting really strong. Like, I consider myself a good player. But
yeah,
it's
I
just-
consider you a good player.
I couldn't beat Suwako because I went full retard during that match, and then Nanyako was just too good. So I don't know. I probably won't participate in the next one. I'll go back to streaming it.
Oh, Scarpy's really banned, huh?
Yeah, Scarpy's been banned for quite a bit. I mean, he's been
Apparently he's
banned
been bad about it
months.
too.
Classic Scarpy.
Actually, I would like the list of bans by the tournament. Like, actually, just a list of like 10 Dream Chasers. Those people got banned. Nin's Dream Chasers. Those people got banned. Like this, because this list doesn't serve any how do you
Information?
say it? Yeah, it's like it's well. I know that Basana isn't banned.
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's
Also,
all,
let's not forget the ban list isn't just something rigged we have to
I mean,
follow. I mean, if someone is not on the list, that doesn't mean he should not participate in there. Like,
I
if
do
people just
understand
suggested
that.
Joga, like if Joga wants to join, I'm pretty sure he's too good for that tournament. So even if he's not
Yeah, I
on
know.
this list, we wouldn't let him.
That's exactly why I want list of people getting like when they got actually banned, because
Okay,
I know that
I can
I
do
am
that.
banned from this tournament, but I never ever tried to participate in Dream Chasers. Why am I
Yeah,
banned?
Christ. Jesus Christ, man.
I would kick your ass, boy.
Dude, no.
Yeah, like man, Irish bullies me, so yeah.
I mean, I can add a little explanation on the people that actually got banned from Dream Chasers, but clearly I can't make explanation for like Blaze, Yanator, or you.
We don't need an explanation to us getting banned. Like, I
mean-
want a timeline of bans. Yeah,
Okay,
timeline
it's
of
fine. I
bans
can do
sounds
that.
cool.
I can actually do
And,
that.
and that would allow us to more accurately judge how good a person needs to be to get banned. Because like when you see, okay, so this guy, he wasn't banned like months ago, but he's banned now. Clearly he is improved. He's good now.
I'll get to it then. Then later I'll at least try to get some kind of timeline or at least a general idea of when people got banned. I can do that.
Okay.
It's fine.
okay, there,
Good idea.
You sound like you're dying.
In the list we also have now Nanyaku, yeah.
One.
That is, I mean, Zero just told us what happened. Super strong. And also One. So yeah, One. I don't think there is any like. I don't need to really explain why I banned One. I mean, he got pretty good, so I don't feel like he needs to play more in DC. I checked all the results, and he's doing pretty well outside of the DC tourneys. So I think he is fine.
You know, now shout out to Nevenfall. He was complaining so much about SA. We just banned 3 of them, or was it 4 at once?
Three.
Yeah, he should be like. happy
I'm
now.
actually going to like have a point that Irish brought up some time ago, that instead of complaining about SA and I should unite and start complaining about you, because you has shittier players and less player base. So like
These
we act-
French people who can't play this game and like lag up the net.
God damn.
I'm not really joking about this because, like, again, I am serious. You is fucking wasteland. There is no Soku there, and people actually play Soku in the SA. So, like, having some sort of prejudice towards SA players is, like, it's bullshit. It's racism.
90% sure that Normac could come out of the grave and take games off of the top EU DC players.
Jesus Christ.
Implying he
Probably. Yeah, I guess while we are on this, we can already move on onto other stuff, unless you want to, you know.
We still haven't talked about meme chasers, or did we talk about it in last podcast?
Up to Irish, really.
Yeah, we have one more meme chasers tournament to talk about.
I mean, let's just talk about the results because you guys already discussed, what we need to think about. So, like, results, Small NDU won again, and I was actually really happy about it because Small NDU won the tournament, the meme chasers that came before this, but he was try-harding, like, a lot. He wasn't burning any of this meter. But, like, this time he comes into the tournament, he plays like a straight fucking meme, and he wins. And I'm like, okay, you got me. Congrats, dude. Like, I'm happy about meme chasers.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. So he got meme of the week, but he'll probably have that for, like, several months.
No, wait. He got meme. What's the accent? I don't even know. Meme. Of the week.
So you're not planning to hold another meme chasers for a while?
So the thing is, and I've been thinking about this quite a bit, we had so many tournament series running simultaneously for a while between all the sodas and Sokusat, meme chasers, dream chasers. So I figured to prevent a little bit of tourney burnout, maybe I'll have meme chasers be more of a monthly tournament rather than a bi-weekly tournament.
That's neat.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it. Oh yeah, and while we are still on the topic of the tournaments and Swiss, wait a second. I'm going to come back to the Swiss. Because, like,
Jesus Christus.
Yeah, like, I'm actually serious because people think that the Swiss tournament is not competitive enough, but it's, like, really good for mid and new players. So do you guys really think that somebody like the Sunday Swiss should be pushed in the direction of, like, old Scrubby Friday? Like, the tournament actually aimed at the, like, really newer players.
The problem is that even though it can be competitive, the atmosphere around it isn't as competitive because it's not do or die, win or lose. That's the problem. It just isn't motivational enough. It doesn't force people to play out of their fucking minds.
I would like to add something which isn't even about the ability of the player or anything. New players, 90% of the time, can't host.
Oh yeah, that's an issue.
That's actually a real issue.
I know it. It's like there are ways to, like, but it's such a hassle, and it's unstreamable most of the time.
Yeah. So that's kind of a problem, really.
Okay, so we're like 30 minutes in. I think we've gone through all the news. All right.
Well, actually, we didn't go through the news. We still have one more, and it's just some quick talk about Toho 16 got released.
Yes.
It's about the porn.
No, it's not about the Toho 16.
No, those shit Tohos, no?
No. They're not shit Tohos. What are you talking about?
Don't you like Tohos with boots on top of their heads?
No, I prefer Tohos with hands on top of their head like Ray.
I didn't even...
The only one I like is the sheep, that's all.
Okay.
I didn't even...
I actually like it, the third stage boss. She's cute. Also Raimo fucking Balli is here. Okay, hello Raimo, I'd protect your home and, like, help you out. Burn in hell, heretic! Die! That's a real scenario here.
That's a great plot. That's a great plot.
I mean, that's a summarized version of how it went. But yeah, thanks, Adept.
That's how it I didn't know you spoke Japanese.
I mean, there is translated version.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, I played this game. I only got
you
to
have
stage
Toho
4.
crap. It was translated ages ago. Hello guys.
It's a bot.
Nobody likes
Use your
Toho crap.
computer to mine bitcoins.
What do you mean nobody likes Toho crap? Is is like the great.
I don't like it.
It's like the
awful.
second best thing to come out of Toho community right after Soku.
Well, it's terrible. Toho crap is really awful.
What do you
Just-
need?
Just give me the old translation method. I don't really need all this nonsense.
Wait, you can download the translations you need. You
No.
can translate.
Uh,
Also, as Coco said, let's not like get into it too much. We just want to announce it. Did you like playing the game or not? I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I don't like modern Toho games anyway.
Like,
Hmm.
I
I
don't think I
mean-
can beat any, but
I am going to say that the amount of likable characters went down a lot from the, I think, what was the last good Toho?
Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom.
12?
I think that UFO, like
Yeah.
12, like that. Well, after the 12th iteration, I think my ability to like new characters went down a lot.
Look,
Like
Toho's-
I don't even. I mean,
It was a good game, the Citizen's Kane of Toho. Zune outdid himself, another masterpiece.
The best Toho is 7, and if you disagree, I don't care.
if you don't think that Imperishable Night was the best Toho game in Windows era, your taste is shit, and I don't like you.
Adept, my guy. What is up, man?
You guys have no class. The best title was definitely Phantasmagoria of Dimensional Dream.
What?
I told Windows
Yeah.
era, man. I told Windows era.
Sorry, I only play
15 was the
Arkanoids. I only play highly responsive to prayers. Sorry.
Get out of here, hipster.
Highly responsive to shitpost.
The best game were 2 and 7. Get out. 2
Scrub.
and 7.
Okay, but we're not here to talk about our shitty opinions about the actual Toho games.
Let's get
Oh.
into the tier list discussion. Which
Yeah,
I know
we strike so hard to get Blaze in here because we can keep talking about the tier list now. And yeah, come on, Genki, just shower on your thoughts.
Okay, Blaze, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive.
How much alive?
Pretty alive.
Who cares?
Okay, nice. I care.
Alright.
Okay, so man, my dude, my man, tell me all you know about this situation. So, I'll give you the general script. Right about now, right about now, we have the backroom situation where we already made a tier list, and we are planning to make a matchup chart. And all I remember is that you don't really like the tier list, and you have your own opinions, and I like those opinions. So tell me about those. What do you think about?
My opinion is that the tier list is complete garbage.
Nice, but why?
Alright, so I feel like it's too I don't know what you call it. Like it's too inspired by what we already thought before. It doesn't really feel anything different. And I guess that makes sense, but we still have a lot of gaps in knowledge when it comes to certain characters that we never really see be used. But we take it for granted that are top tiers. So if a tier list is supposed to represent how strong a character is in a certain community, then it doesn't make sense for a character that's not even used that well or that often to be a top tier. So
what's your example of that character?
something like
Sakuya?
Sakya. Yeah, Sakya
Yeah.
is like the prime example. Like, what the fuck is that character? We don't even know her. And short thing, like we see the Japanese replays. Actually, I don't even know if you guys watch that shit. But
Nah.
like,
Yeah.
it doesn't apply to us. Like we don't die in one knockdown. Come on.
We're too good for that.
I die in 2.
Our defense is too strong, so Sakya is complete garbage. So I don't even know why she's like S tier or anything like
Okay,
that.
look, Blaze, but the idea here was, the issue was that we didn't try to make our community tier list. It was explicitly stated as Soku overall tier list. And while we don't have strong Sakuya players, like really strong, I mean, Lionheart is good, but he is not amazing. No offense. Like,
Real shit. So
we were still supposed to judge it in the vacuum. Yeah, if we are going to make our community tier list, it's going to be Raisin S tier, then we have Yukari, and then we have Yuyuko.
Yeah, but then, like, we also have like the characters on the bottom end, which even though I argue that aren't as bad as they are, people still put them on the lower part of the tier list. And I even like show the character. I even use the characters myself, some of them, and I use them pretty well, like Komachi.
Just
And
don't use them well enough, then, as you can see.
Okay, wait. Stop.
Yeah,
Okay, stop.
use them
I
as
even
well
use
as Blaze.
Suika too. Like,
Okay, wait. Stop right there for a moment. You do play those characters. I think you play pretty
Yeah.
much every character in the cast.
I
But
think
there is
he's won with Sanai a Soku Saturday, right?
yeah, I've won one Soku Saturday with
there is a thing though. When you play, I think people see not the character being like better than they may think, but they see you win, which is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, if I pick the last time I picked Saki, I got completely destroyed by Alpha. So I mean, basically, if that's a better character and I'm just playing me, then I should be doing better with Saki than I am
You
with,
can't
like,
lose
Komachi.
Loco with Sakuya unless you're. I mean, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, that matchup can't be won even in actually, no, it can be won in practice, but it can't be won in theory. Like, if Sakuya doesn't make mistakes, there is nothing Coco can do. It's impossible.
I mean, if no
Just leave
character
good.
makes the mistake, there's
Sakuya
nothing
is
any
easy.
character can do, you dingus.
Another thing is like opinions are completely drowned out. Because in this tier list, because there is no representation of how much a character ranges between tiers. I think Irish explained that already. I personally think that just having multiple tier lists would be good enough. Just like the way Melty-Blood does it. Melty-Blood has different tier lists for
Really?
the top players, and like that shows just at least a group representation of what people think tiers work in this game. So I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people that think that Komachi's not bad, and there's gonna be a lot of people that think that Komachi's it's alright. So I think both sides should be represented at least to their fullest. So multiple
I mean,
tier
but-
lists to me would be the best way.
But then what's the point of us even making it? Like, how do I say it? When we start thinking of tier list as just an opinions of specific players, their worth, like, it goes down like a lot.
Oh no, it's like groups, not specific players. So yeah.
But
I mean,
Mike?
what do we even have a player base big enough to suggest like this group?
I'm pretty sure we do, actually. Our
Kind
player
of.
base isn't very small.
Okay, so how many tier lists do you think we should make?
I think
Three?
3 is good enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
3 is
three.
probably good enough. It depends on how many like the characters, how different the characters are thought of. So if there's like a group of people that think Sakuya is good and the other think Sakuya is bad, then you have to split those people apart. But you know, there's not gonna be a lot of groups because you know there's
Okay,
still
so
lots away.
so like let me check. I think that T0 went to the like there was an info about standard deviation in tire positions in backroom, but I'm too lazy for it.
I mean, here.
Anyway, okay, I'm going to stay like that's not the point. I just remember that Yukari was the character I think people most disagreed on her standings, and her being placed in mid tier basically doesn't matter, because for some people she can she's lower, for some people she's higher, or something. I just want to ask you, Blaze, because I stopped even checking the backroom, because I feel like making a matchup list is even more pointless than making a tier list.
A nice 9-1 matchups, nice 10-0.
Yeah,
You will win 90% of this time in the match. Without a doubt. It's free, man. It's free.
I
Let me
mean,
get-
Blaze, all the sarcasm aside, I just don't understand how are we supposed to judge matchup, and then what are we going to do when our matchup chart is going to be so completely off of the fucking tier list?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if
It's going to be off.
Yeah,
Soku
it's gotta be
if
off.
the Soku Backroom's like next action is to base the tier list off of matchups, are they going to be done individually
Yes.
depending on like the player? Because I feel like that's just going to dilute the tier list even further.
I
That's
think
what we're being told.
Might-
Yeah.
I think Tessero wanted everyone to make a matchup list, and then from there he will make one based on everything. Kind
This
of.
is stupid. This is just not going to work.
Okay.
Like, we don't have enough players qualified to even
Yeah,
judge,
yeah.
like...
Okay,
Yeah.
let me make 2 points that I'm really interested in. First, Blaze, you said before that you think some characters like Chirno or Sana, maybe Suwako even, are stronger than other people think. So, tell me about that. Then I'll shout out the second question.
It's mostly because I'm not saying that they're definitely stronger. I feel like there's just too much we don't know about them. Just because something like an example with J2A, Yuriko's J2A, all right? A lot of people die to it, but they don't know that if you overcommit to beating it, you actually manage to beat it out almost like every single time. And it may be, I think it's definitely because the way Yuriko's use J2A is really bad, but people don't really adapt to it.
I can attest.
What do you say,
I'm
Yari?
not-
No,
that's
we
part of-
fucking suck.
Honestly,
Sums
I'd
up
rather
in
get
one sentence.
Aside that, there was also another thing. So as we were saying before, it's really hard to make a matchup matchup chart because it doesn't
How do you
feel
get
like
alt skills in there because they can change matchups quite a bit.
basically. Here's the
People that
thing:
trust the room.
to make a matchup chart, at least in Soku, there is a big problem. At least I feel like that. Soku has, let's say, two main things that don't really let you make both a tier list and a matchup chart.
Oh man, hit us with the good stuff.
I mean, it's just my opinion. That's the classic option select. It's my opinion.
Spicy opinion. Do it. Be a
Okay,
man.
let's go. So basically, the entire game has the unique core of being an 8-direction fighter with the ability of flying around and grazing projectile. That alone makes something like Yuyuko kind of moot. She should be really strong because her bullets are godlike, but you can graze them and you can fly around. Who cares? And that's a point I think it's really important to take into consideration. And then the other problem is that every single character has access to at least 9 different alt skills and like at least 10 spell cards. And you can make a bunch of decks for different occasions, meaning that you can actually take a character and consider it default for the tier list or matchup chart because
And to add to that, another great equalizer: system cards.
you need to take into consideration too many things to both things, and it doesn't work. You don't end with stuff.
You don't make a tier list station based on whatever choices they have. You think about character with in the context of the deck you think is best for the matchup.
That makes sense,
if you're thinking about Yuka versus Oko, you wouldn't fucking care that she can 2-on-4 butterflies. She has fucking 2-on-4 lasers. You get those to level 3, Oko loses. You
Nah,
can't
they're
win
just
versus
bad.
lasers. Fuck
I mean,
you,
You just
players.
suck if you die to racing.
Yeah, I
Mono
get
Eye-
it.
Mono Eye is not afraid of my 2-on-4 lasers.
Mano Eye is too good. And I am garbage.
I don't know. I feel it depends because some people may not have some super secret tech with some cards, and you don't know that. And I don't know.
Okay, Genki, look, I am not believing in super secret tech in the community without monetary prize.
I mean, it's fine. I can
enough.
too.
I can understand that honestly.
Here, and I actually kind of want to jump in on that, and building off of what Blaze said about, characters being placed low that we just don't know the tech about, I might be going on a bit of a stretch here, but could it be possible that characters that are ranked really, really low tier actually discourage people from thinking about how to play with them in a really like technical, precise manner and like lab shit out. Because like somebody sees like, oh, Sanae is low tier, like she must have no tech. Why am I even gonna lab with this shit?
I believe
is that possible?
I believe
I actually wouldn't say that it's the case for Sanae, but I can see how it's the case for Cyrna, for example.
My
Like,
son
okay,
had tech master play
Cyrna
into 2.7.
Cyrna is actually like a really, really strong, like good example for this point. I mean, like Small and Du has some tech, whatever. I don't care. It's like nobody played Cyrna, nobody can deal with it. It's like I haven't seen Cyrna in years.
And then Small and EU comes out of nowhere and it's like, hey.
And then Kachka, by pricing random buttons, beat me in some whatever tournament. I don't remember what, but he played Cyrna. And I was like, wow! I am garbage.
Honestly, I feel there is like a lot of more we are missing out on characters because I see.
You know what we're missing? This tier list is just a list, nothing else. I actually expected there to be the list of characters and an explanation what they can do and why they are there. We got nothing. We just got the list. I mean, fine, okay, I see it. But why is it that way? Like, I don't see a big paragraph why Yuyuko is that top tier. Let's imagine some new player joins and he says Yuyuko is super slow and her attacks aren't that great either. Why is she so high? We lack an explanation. I wished for it to have a really big paragraph per each character. Why they are placed there? How do they compare to others? For example, look at Sanae, for example, and compare it to Patchouli. Do you think they're honestly so far apart you would say none of them is B- or C+, or is there really such a visible difference? And we don't know why.
Ass.
Yeah, that's like one of the counters.
Off the top of my head, we actually had, like, during the backroom talk, we had people write, like, a lot of info on other characters, on their pros and cons, on the big Google Doc that nobody read, like... I mean, I'm going to assume, because I didn't. I had my opinion, and the issue is that you can't really go too much in depth on character on paper or something. Like, how do I explain it? It's like I can tell you that Oko has shit movement, for example, right? But it doesn't mean anything unless you start going into specific situations, like complete inability to, like, you block air command melee, you can't do shit because you're stuck. You continue blocking, and which doesn't happen in other matchups because other characters have instant flight. And yeah, that fucks you up.
Wait, you guys want to know the best explanation for one of the cons of a character? It was a description that goes like this: awful movement makes a lot of shit bad and creates a bunch of small problems that add up to bigger problems. I was like,
man, I hate it when that happens.
what does that mean?
Wait.
That's what I'm talking about. They just lack an actual explanation. I want to know why is her movement shit. Like, just saying her movement is shit and that's why she's bad, that doesn't tell me anything. I want to know why. I want to understand what is...
Okay, let me get on that for a moment.
Yeah, actually, can we get the Google document that we had for background?
I think
because I actually want to have it like... Okay, so where is
give it a
it?
look.
Okay.
I would like to say that the reason why usually I don't see that kind of stuff on a tier list morph is because in other fighting games, characters have an archetype. And they run that archetype from top to bottom. In Soku, again, I go back to the fact the character have different alt skills, 8 movement, and flying. The archetypes are kind of there, but not that much. So basically, the neutral is played pretty much the same with every character. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. In a certain way, because characters like, for example, Remilia or Suwako have a really strange ass movement. So yeah,
I think it's a lot more about how you actually want to play the game. I know that it's pretty simple just to play the game the same way with everyone and get
do that
and get to an okay level, because I've seen players like that. I've seen people that just go around and fly down with diagonals, and that works
That's me.
works up
me.
to a point where like someone just starts JDAing you, for example. I think I play neutral a little differently than most players with racing, at least, in the fact that I stay below people more than I actually stay above them. And the thing about Soku is that it can be hard to play in different ways, but it's still possible if you actually put your mind into it. So like I faced Remilias that only go forward and gate to A, and I've also faced Remilias that just kept walking back, 4Aing, and then whenever you touch them, they just fucking coined at you, and they just kept 2Aing after that. And it's like some people play really stally, some people like to play below you.
Let me ask this though. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think every character plays an archetype? That's what I want to hear.
I'm pretty sure you can, but it won't be as effective.
Wait, what do you mean by play an archetype?
For example,
Let's pick a
Rush
grappler.
down.
let's pick any other fighting game. Street Fighter to Guilty Gear to Blaze Blue, whatever you want.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. In Blaze Blue, archetypes are made.
Yeah.
Well, but if you look at a game like Tekken, dude, everyone plays the same in Tekken.
Yes, exactly. That's
It's all
true.
about it's all about fundamentals.
And
And it's
movement,
not
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not even that bad in Soku anyway, because in Soku you do get a sort of an archetype, but you also can play the same. You also can play your own way, and that own
Yes.
way can be applied to most characters.
And that's my point. I don't think in Soku characters really. They may have an archetype, but you are really free to do pretty much what you want. You have to find your style. You can do that, or so I feel.
You mean?
I mean,
And it's just a lot of words that don't really mean it in the end. Like, I don't know, like maybe I'm just a practical person, but I like, okay, you can
Don't
do
you see
whatever
Inoku,
you
though?
want.
Don't you see Inoku? Like, first you have Alpha, and he's pretty successful. Even though he's not the best, he's pretty successful in our community. But he doesn't play anything like you, or Mono Eye either, or Fear. Like,
It's
and you play different than Fear as well. Fear plays a different.
I'm just
Okay.
very
But both of you are successful. Like,
I am not successful.
Please, do not be depressed. This is not the time.
It's like, okay, look, I'm just going to be serious about it. It's
Adepht is not convinced.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about, like, okay, Blaze, I see your point, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's just another word that it doesn't mean anything that you can play like whatever you want, because how do I tell it? It's, let me collect
No,
my,
I
okay,
thought you were
just
trying to say
Oh, no,
that.
okay, wait. I think I understand that because Oku is a really slow character and her movement is kind of the way it is. So it's really hard to go beyond that kind of stuff.
Okay,
But
no,
even-
look, Genki, the point is, I'm going to say it's like, okay, I can play Oko to some extent, okay, let's call it successful, right? I'm fairly sure that if I switch to fucking like Aya, I'm going to be better in like 2 weeks of time. I'm going to be way better than
I
I
don't know about that. I don't know. I really think it depends on what player you're facing. Honestly,
And you've been saying that for literally years at this point.
Yeah,
I don't
look.
believe you.
look, if you try to play a character that you think you're gonna be good at versus someone who's really good at, who's already very used to playing that character, you're still gonna die. Believe me, I have I have an easier time with Aya than I have with Oku.
I know.
It's like,
I'm not seeing your point, Blaze.
no, I just don't get yours either, because like you're saying that you're gonna do better with Aya, and I mean, I guess
It's like
okay.
I'm going to say that my playstyle doesn't work with my character, and if I want better results, I am better off making a switch. That's my
Maybe.
point.
Nah, fuck that. Just take.
Oh,
Okay,
whatever
but,
you
but
like.
that's something else though. That depends on the person, because if you play a character and you feel that you don't belong there, that's your problem, not the character. And
Yeah, I know.
like what are you gonna do when you press 4A and you get like 100 damage and no combo?
I'm going to press 6G and get same fucking 6K damage of 4A. And I'm actually going to get more fucking damage of anti-air hit. That's what I'm going
Oh, I
to
love
do.
it.
Real pressure going on with Aya.
By the way, Adept, I'm taking a look at this Google Doc that you put in the Soku podcast list, and I just have to say, if you give it a really quick glance, nothing that it actually has written down is very substantial. Look at all the opinion words: good pressure,
What the
viable cards, extremely strong, godlike,
What?
good okizeme. What are these? There is no substantiation to any of these
We should
opinions.
Irish,
put that on the stream, Zero, because people just have to read it. I mean, come
Okay,
on. now.
Irish. See, the point is that I haven't actually read through that, and it
room
was
confirmed.
actually a Google Doc at the beginning. I don't know why Tessira made a fucking Excel spreadsheet out of it. Because
Great
I think
default skills, versatile and easy to use moveset. What did they mean by this?
I don't know. I wrote.
I just started reading this and I'm fucking shocked. I mean, is this what people spend weeks for?
Well, it was the morning, and Tester was like, "All right, guys, just
I
give me
don't-
something." And,
I don't want to be rude here, but holy shit.
Don't test this here.
Do you really think that anyone who actually I'm going to say
I didn't want to be part of this because I thought I'm too new and I couldn't say stuff. But if I read this, come on, I would have been way better.
Okay,
for this,
Marv,
honestly.
I wrote I went and read, I think I read the Oku part, then I told that it's complete fucking garbage. And then I wrote something there. I was like, it was better, the stuff she currently has is... Actually, I'm not sure that it even has all my points, but doesn't anyway. The point is, it went better for my opinion, and I tried to actually explaining stuff and not saying just okay, good movement, bad movement and stuff. It's hard to do in a lot of cases, but I tried. Anyway, the point is I didn't even read the fucking
Leak.
autonomous for other characters.
Tessiro Engeri. Tessiro on chat. Blown up.
Oh,
What, you guys actually pull up the
look at
Excel?
this. Yuyuko, all aerial normals are broken. That's exactly what it says there. It doesn't even explain why. It's just broken. No explanation, they're just broken.
Wait, Tess, I didn't know that the nose were weren't supposed to be seen by other people.
Tessiro furious because his fraudulent method of deciding tiers was released.
Okay, I guess I wasn't completely... that I don't know how correct I wasn't doing that, but I don't remember hearing that I'm not supposed to ever link it to anyone else.
Same.
Yeah, it's Blaze, did you remember Tessira stating that we can't release the notes?
I mean, it was sort of implied considering, you didn't put the link out there. But still, I didn't know that you guys
God
actually pulled it
damn
up.
it, guys.
No, nothing.
Go back! Go back! Close it out!
Nah, calm down.
Okay, enough.
I know you don't want people to see it, but let's be honest here. This is for the community. You make the tier list for the community, not yourselves, mostly.
We are trying to understand how this tier list situation and people that go this character is bad.
I'm not saying I'm dissatisfied with it. I'm just saying that I lacked explanation for this tier list, and this document is actually helping out a lot of this. So in a way, I appreciate it. Of course, the explanations suck, but honestly, I can take with it. I mean, I understand, because if you say Yuyuko, all aerial normals are broken, okay, there's no explanation why they're broken, but I'm at least experienced enough that I can think why. But if you have a newer player, for example, he maybe doesn't know that. So the tier list in a way is a bit...
The tier lists were never made for newer players. It's you don't take newer... tier lists are made with... tier list target audience is around mid-tier players. Those who already know the basics and have down that they can do stuff. You can't really go way too in depth on character. For that, we need to actually write guides on characters. When I tried to write an Oku guide, I tried to go deeper into some stuff and explain why ground melt is fucking garbage. Actually, I'm not sure I did that.
You don't even have to
basically-
explain why that one's garbage.
So the school
I mean,
doc isn't that
I-
detailed. Okay, my bad then. I got to apologize. But I was just bummed reading that at the beginning because it's way too rough. And yeah, as Tetsuro said, it was not supposed to be like
Yeah,
that. So,
I mean, it's
okay.
just a raw read.
I just wanted to like Morphman, you just asked for like notes on explanation why
Yeah.
characters are there, and I thought that it would be like nice to link you the list that we were supposed to have discussion on, but I haven't seen that happen. Maybe
Adept,
Yankee so.
You mentioned that you thought that tier list wasn't really designed for new players, but I actually think tier lists are profoundly impactful to new players. They determine whether or not, like a lot of players, they pick up a character. Let's say you start playing Suwako, and then you're like, hey, this character's super fun. Then you look at a tier list and it says, oh, your character is garbage. It kind of discourages people from playing the game a lot. I think it's very impactful.
I would like to
exactly
say
what
Very
happened to me.
impactful, but it doesn't. It's not aimed at newer player. Like this impact is a collateral damage we get when we are making the fucking tier list, and the community. Like, I'm not sure we are actually making a. Like, I don't think we should put so much. Like, we should care that much about tier list because there is like genuinely like 3 players on the server that might be reaching the level that is high enough where character tires are actually starting to have an impact.
But if that is true, then I really agree with what Blaze says about, people who kind of agree more or less the same on where characters should be tiered should have their own separate tier list away from like a giant like unified tier list, because let's say that Blaze thinks that Suwako is a lot better than, I don't know, Zero thinks so. Yeah, or like better than Kamachi. Then in that case, maybe a new player who sees that is going to look at that and be like, oh, maybe she's not trash, maybe it's up to debate, like maybe there's something to be learned here.
Half the time I feel
Okay, so-
like people base their tier list off of like how their character compares to the character that they want to talk about, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Well,
understandable.
I'm going to say that yes, in my like, how do I say? Yeah, like it's mainly based off my experience playing against characters and watching some a lot less Japanese like games and stuff and other people play, and like, of course, it has an. God, I am bad at talking. The point is that yeah, it's like heavily opinionated, and there was like only one thing everyone had the same stance on, and that's Yuyuka being #1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
kind of
no.
feel like what you said about like new players basing their character off of the tier list, though. Like if we do have one unified tier list that places the character directly where we as a community feel that they should be, if they would actually like be discouraged from playing their character, I do kind of feel like that, because that's what happened to me when I was playing Noelle and like Blaze Blue. But I mean, I'd play this game for my waifu, so
Well, you should be happy because no
Shout out
one's
to Pachula.
trash, brother.
yeah.
I know that like at least one of my friends got discouraged from playing BlazBlue during the Chrono Phantasma era because Terumi was jack shit. And he was objectively shit enough to be placed on separate tier from everyone else.
Yeah, but the difference here in this tier list is that, like, I truly don't feel like there's that much difference between all the characters in general. Like, you can see from this tier list, it goes from S to C. It doesn't go to, like, D or F for
But
fuck,
even then, I would
failure.
say it's a lot because
I
video
mean, we
games-
have S plus and B plus.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about
Well,
that.
go to F.
Why is
First you have triple S, and then you go all the way down to like H tier.
Well, triple S is like Japanese, like, perfect tier. We don't have that. Even Yuko's not perfect.
We have Blaze.
then you have played her a lot.
Yeah, we have Blaze.
I was thinking that maybe the fact that new players are heavily impacted by tier lists may be actually a thing, because there are like every new player that I see join the Discord always go searching around for the tier list. Like, where is the tier list of the Soku? Where is the tier list for Soku? Where is this character placed in the tier list? So I think that may actually impact how people perceive the character select screen. You know?
Without a doubt.
We have 3 different tier lists to work on.
Don't show them the tier list. They make people toxic.
Next time somebody asks you for a tier list, just be like, "Here's my tier list. Use this one."
That would actually be fun.
And we also, God damn it, we also have like every always say play every single character except Suwako. Don't play Suwako.
Yes, I
Every time.
I mean,
Every time.
there is more reasons to tell newer players to not pick Suwaka than
It's bullshit, man. No, it doesn't work like that.
No,
because-
Genki, like Genki, the issue with Suwaka is not that she's bad, it's like that she is so much different from other, like after
I know,
spending
but
fucking 1,000 hours on
But don't
playing
let your
Aya.
dreams be dreams!
if you don't play at the start or somewhere in between or someday, you will never learn her. And if you like the character,
No, I can't.
I mean,
I can understand, but we're talking about probabilities here. Okay, let's say that some newer guy comes and says, "I like Suwaka, I wanna play her."
okay.
What is the probability of him actually enjoying this character enough to like be fucked when he tries to switch to another character? Because that's what playing Suwako is.
Who
Getting
knows?
fucked.
Newbie Suwako
updated
players are
list.
still doing better than other character players. So, like, in terms of how they're actually faring in the community, look at new Suwako players. They're doing perfectly better than other
Yeah.
people.
Suwako is really strong.
It's true actually. Yeah.
For newer
That's
players
because nobody else wants to fight her. That's the thing.
No, that's not about like people. It's just dealing with J8A is fucking nightmare. It's hard, like, and her pressure is easy and extremely effective. It's like, yeah, to escape Suwako's pressure, you need to be like competent.
It's true. I would also like to get on
Like
this
she's just extremely polarized character, her which with weaknesses that are a lot less pronounced until you reach a very high like level of play. Because when you tell some starting Suwako, man, you're flying around like a retard. I mean, top Japanese players just fucking
high level.
sit on leaf all the time. Do it just like them. He's going to look at you and call you a retard. And he will be correct.
I also feel that sometimes the old player kind of mess up with the new player, you know, mess around because
Oh, you mean
of
like
the
man?
thinking.
You mean like man walks into Soku room, wants to play a certain character, and then they run up into one guy who's been playing Soku for 5 years. He's got heavy PTSD. He sees that character being played, and he can't help but spout his opinion. He's just like, "You fucker! Why are you playing that character?"
I didn't mean exactly that, but kind of.
It's literally that.
Kind of. God damn.
I gotta hide all the new players from you old motherfuckers.
What do you mean? We love new players. We can tell their free and like uncorrupted minds that that Yuyuko is top tier and increase the population of Yuyuko mains.
What I want.
You know what? We have done a mistake. We should have picked the weakest character in the game. I don't know who it is exactly, but we should have said she's the top tier, and everyone picks her, so we don't have hard opponents to fight.
Morphin, this is the way of the loser's way of thinking. The good players makes everyone play Yuyuka so he can improve.
Yeah,
And
that's
get
good.
better.
That's good.
I actually wanted to go back to a point we made before about character missing not only players but also research and tech. I feel like the older player of the Soku are really stuck on the same mentality when it comes to the character. And I know they will always say, but this character has this and that and that, and there's nothing new to check. But I feel like every single time I feel like when people tell me that something is missing, they tell me, yeah, I checked, this character sucks on this alt, and etc, etc. But I feel there is that thing that they don't know, and it's there.
Okay, Genki,
waiting.
Okay, Genki, look, when I see people, generally, okay, I'm not going to say that I always do, seeing some weird stuff, I'm asking them why are they.
Yes.
And it's like the answers, the person that runs some whatever garbage has to know the answer to why do I have this card in my deck? What's its purpose? Like, what do I get? It's like, if he has the answer to this question, yeah, it's cool, the guy is doing great. If he doesn't, then what the fuck?
I know, but I think you still need to leave that guy alone. Let him explore, because that is how you find new things. People exploring randomly and they just fall into the new technology.
Look, I was talking to a veteran Alice who's like really good at Alice. His name is Yoga, and most of you probably know him. But this guy cannot do Okizeme with Alice. So
wow.
And most of our Alice players never actually discovered how to do Okizeme, even though it's like on every Japanese Alice video. Actually, no. Only a few Alices can do good Okizeme. But the stuff is like, if you see any video of an old Alice player that you thought were pro, or that he's good, and of course they're good in neutral and defense, you see their Okizeme and they place 4C out of the fucking out tech range. What? That doesn't make any sense, because they just roll out and now like the doll doesn't even hit them. So I just think like it's surprising to me that as a sub Alice player, that of course I had to research a lot on how she actually Okizemes. I had to teach a veteran Alice player, or at least show them how do you do Okizeme on certain characters. And it's not because I'm better or anything, it's just that, I don't know, I guess people never really bothered to look at how to do something like that. Even though it's still really possible. And if you do it, like, you can become so much better by just doing simple things like Okizeme. And so yeah, it's something like with Alice too that I never, like FBF too, he still uses 214 for Okizeme as Alice, and I'm like, what? You should never be able to use that. It's just 2 Dol Oki or 4C236, but you know.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
technology.
At least personally, I think like I've been playing Soku for 2 years, but I look at my Okizeme and I'm like, what is this? Like, why haven't I been actually practicing this? Maybe that's why I'm not a very good player. Like, people need to ask themselves those questions first before they ask themselves whether it's the character's fault.
Ooh. Irish, tell me about that. I know you want to talk about that. Let's go. Tell me about the lazy.
You mean the fact that like a lot of people in this community just don't want to accept the fact that the reason why they're losing has something to do with the fact that they play maybe like 2 hours of Soku a week rather than actually putting the time and effort into figuring out how to do things correctly. Because some people would rather just blame it on the matchup, blame it on the lag, blame it on the inputs, blame it on anything except for the fact that they don't fucking practice this game enough.
Yes, I was talking about
honestly, even if you just play 2 hours a day, at least, even if you only play 2 hours a day,
I was 2 hours a week.
2 hours a day is fucking a lot, Blaze. What the fuck?
Okay, fine. As long as you play like 2 hours a week, as long as you know what you're supposed to practice exactly, like you should be able to exactly tell what you're actually practicing, and you're not just practicing. Oh, I'm practicing neutral. Or, oh, I'm practicing how to, like, move around better on the map or some shit like that.
You have to put in the work to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
But it's like it's hard. Just like, it's very, very hard to set yourself a specific goals when you are actually, like... People are very, very good at escaping blame. Like, most players don't want to blame themselves. Like... They prefer to blame circumstances, like, and input lag and shit is a good circumstance to like saying that it's not my fault. and like, yeah, basically that. There is that circumstantial bias, which is generally
Yeah,
like we attribute Blaze winning counter assault to Blaze being good and me not winning. And I don't win counter assault not because like I am bad, but because fucking Blaze has way more times than me.
Wait. I will totally win any tourney if I was the only player there, okay? I know that. I'm pretty sure about that.
It really makes me think.
I
Even
know.
not, you would choke against yourself.
God damn, how do you even do that? But yeah,
You're out of the tournament because you were out getting pizza, so by the time you get disqualified.
how do you even... Okay, god damn it. But yeah, I think that's a problem we have around people that really prefer to just, not really take the time to learn something new. And it ties together with learning new with learning new technology and all that. So,
Speaking of this, we should totally go into the topic about how much people play Soku because Spike really had a big base bin showing like how much time everybody's put into Soku since like what was it, like April of last year or something like that?
damn.
May of last year. Yeah.
Oh shit, is that list?
Yeah, Blaze, it's the list of shame, basically.
So it's not a list of shame, it's actually a list of effort and like
That's the way how you look like it. You say, okay, this guy is respectable. He put a lot of effort into this game.
it's like that
kind of
is the
think
reason.
it the other way around. It's like I spent too much time on it. I could have spent it on something else. And I must say, it's kind of biting me in the neck. But on the other hand, I have to accept it. I mean, people have their hobbies, and
Like Morphan, I want your opinion on this because you put in like a huge amount of hours. So
I might be the one who put the
You're
most
still
hours
bad.
in.
So I want your opinion. Like, do you think putting in that many hours has contributed to you being a better player, or do you think you're missing something besides that?
It depends how you look at it. I mean, I mostly play this to have fun. I'm not usually looking to improve myself. I did it for a while, yes, but I think I calmed down a lot and I just want to enjoy the game.
Dude, 439 hours of fun, that's a lot of fun.
I mean, the issue is, why do you care about your time spent?
I don't know. I mean, if you see so much time wasted, you could have used it for something else, for something, how should I say, more meaning for your life. And meanwhile, just sit here and play Soku. On the other hand, life is just meant to be spent on stuff you don't want to. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it.
Look, I would have been fucking watching anime, so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. Other people have their hobbies, and I could make fun of them for doing that stuff for years, but I don't know, it bites me a little bit in the neck. I can't put my finger on it exactly. Also, think about it, in this list I might even play more than Blaze Dragon if you think about it. This list started in May, I joined in December and I am in the top 3.
Am I even on it?
Blaze was always playing more.
Do I have at least like 1 hour in there?
You have like 60 or something.
So wait,
Nice.
this list starts from May?
Oh no, you have 102. Yeah, it's
wow.
from May 2016.
Huh.
It's everything that's recorded by Parvati during that time.
Got
But why I
150
wanted-
hours on me, not bad.
That's
But
pretty
why I
good.
wanted to actually get into this topic is because a lot of people always cry about that they're not getting good, that it takes them so long to improve in, and they, first of all, it doesn't matter. Some people just learn faster or learn slower. That's the thing. I mean, I looked how to get better at sometimes, yeah, and as you can see with those 400 hours, I'm still on the same level as people who have, let's say, 100. I mean, in the stream right now, I see Coco, for example. He has got a quarter of my playtime, and I would say we go even, if not, he's actually better than that.
Hey, Wonder.
Hey, look, you're doing better than Wayward, so it's okay.
It's okay, his character is
Nobody joins
easier.
Wayward.
Yeah, the only reason why Wayward's not up to Blaze time is because he doesn't get the games fast enough.
True.
Also, you and him don't actually ask for any sort of like special help at all either. Especially Wayward. Wayward never asks for help because he thinks like he fucking.
But
probably
I
thinks
actually
he knows
do.
everything.
I mean,
we should
it's like-
say to the logs between me and Genki, we had hours of discussion.
But it's
Most
Genki.
simple
Look at
things.
Genki's hours. He has like 0 hours.
When you're a god, you don't need that.
I am on screen. I am on screen. I have 1 hour. I don't even need hours. I have the technology. I have the knowledge.
Are you sure you can actually beat Genki at this point, Marshall?
God damn it.
Nah, I don't think so.
Did you see my set with Genki when you played Mei Ling? That was something.
That was painful. That was painful, damn. Oh.
No, but I actually figured out why Morphman doesn't improve. It has nothing to do with playtime. It's just rampant alcoholism. It's deadening all his senses and reactions. He can't water escape. He's too drunk.
It's not the issue of being drunk, it's the issue of attitude. Like, unless you're actively trying to find your own mistakes, nothing is going to change. It's like, you have to play to fucking, I don't know.
I do play, I do. Look at me.
Frame by frame.
It's not about play, it's like, okay, you play versus some guy, you lose. What are you going to do? Like, you have to fucking notice
Of course, what else?
kills you.
Like, I agree with that so much because I see so many people who just go out and host for hours on end and play against random people, and they never really think about what they're doing, and they just assume by playing they're supposed to improve. Never happens.
It's like you have to not only like play, you have to understand what do you need to improve, and you need to understand how you need to improve.
Irish can tell you that. He didn't know that doing 2-1-4 as Oki wasn't actually fucking good at all.
It wasn't doing anything against like half the cast.
I kept high jumping every time. He's like, oh, I guess he's just gonna jump when I did 2-1-4. I'm like, no, Irish, you gotta actually hit me.
I learned a valuable lesson that day.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like
also, let-
it's like I'm just going to say that I myself I already gave up on getting better at Soku in any significant way. So I'm not trying to improve as of right now. I'm just forever stuck at the level of being a measure that is good enough to take some games.
This sounds really sad. I mean, look at this. You're so depressed. You don't even want to try. You say you don't get better, and also you give tips like just play the game. I have more hours than you, and I can say you have
You
just to
don't
try
have more hours than me. What the fuck? Do you think that I spent like this 6 years of my life and
Of
didn't
course,
get to
over the years, not more, but in the recent time, and you said you don't improve recently or
Okay, look,
lately.
I'm not going to explain to every person that you actually need to fucking think when you're playing to improve.
Yeah, keep
Like-
in mind.
Adepth now is just trying to bring Soku into CEO Otaku. That's what he's trying to do right now.
No, I'm not trying to bring Soku, I just want it there. It's like, this isn't... Like, if I lived in America and had free money, I would fucking go and...
See, Adam, that's the problem. You can't just want it. You gotta try it. That's why you're losing.
Yeah,
You don't try, right?
You gotta try. You can't just want to win.
I mean, of course, you won't improve if you already gave up, right? Yeah, sounds fun.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that, like, I gave up on getting better. That's me.
Aww.
It's like
By
I
the
can do that, but I'm not going to put too much effort towards it.
Shout
You're
out
like-
to
you're
Spike
like
Spiegel,
Fear,
by the way, for the spot.
Yeah. That was the Spike Spiegel's playtime also. He says he's retired. Like, let me check this. I think it's at like 100 and something hours.
Yeah.
111, if I remember right.
It's almost as much as me.
Damn. That's pretty good.
So,
got lost in discussion.
Well, then wait. Let's. If I look at the flow, we also have the question: how do you think people do in relation to their playtime in this list? Is anyone impressing you with their improvement over a little time? Is anyone too slow for your thinking? Like, look at it.
Wait.
You have. I mean, you host the Dream Chasers tournament, for example. Genki, is anyone surprisingly scoring super high?
Zinnias.
Wait, what?
Zinnias. I did
Yes.
not think he had that amount of hours, but now I can actually understand why he's pretty good, honestly, at for his level. It's because of the amount of time that he played, and I can see it right here. It's pretty cool, actually. I think he's like one of the I think he probably is like borderline banned out of Dream Crushers at this point.
I'd also say the bomb, and then the other person. I want everyone to pay attention to this.
Wait, where is the place been? Can you give me the link so that I can look at it?
Yeah, 1 second.
I'm just also
No,
going
that's
to
your
say
IP
that-
shit.
Yeah, amazing. I'm also going to say that this list has a lot of Russian players time wrong because for some reason they host without Parvati.
Oh,
I-
Carniv. Silver Fox played with Fear, and I don't think that's registered in the botnet that Spike Peel has. So
So one thing I want everyone to take a look at is this list is from 2016, like May 2016. But go down to Yosupal. Yosupal started playing this game in like May of this year, and he already has 161 hours compared to everybody else who's been playing like probably 4 times as long. Like, holy shit, he needs to get a life. You're doing really well, I'm proud of you.
I mean,
Good job.
sometimes it's not just time; it's how you, it's how you apply your.
That's how you spend it.
How
I'm
do you
going
say
to
it?
say that, wait, Shinki has over 100 hours.
Yeah? He
What about
does.
What about it?
It's fine. I'm just surprised because every time I talked with him, he was retired.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Yuzupa is strong. It's not only just because time. It's applying your knowledge to the game.
It's asking Blaze Dragon for lots and lots of help.
Oh
Also-
I mean, that's the fucking good idea. Like, if you have if you have a player on the channel that's willing to like give you advice, you might want to listen it. It's like it's how I improved. I was fucking complaining about losing all the time on IRC, and then Gap told me how to fucking do hover J2B pressure with Raimo. I mean, jump J2B. That didn't help me one bit, but there were like a lot of other advice I got, and that actually helped. But I still remember like us talking with Gap about how am I supposed to even pressure with Oko, and he told me, well, you know, I am doing jump J2B with Raimo, and I'm like, wow, you should show me that. Then I was trying to apply that to Oko, and it didn't work.
Sender, I can't beat people with less hours than me either. Look at Alpha Azil. He has like 15 hours and he beats my ass. So it's okay, man.
Goddamn. Oh man.
I do feel like Yosu is one of our prime examples of somebody who puts in a lot of work in order to get better. Like,
Yes.
in the amount of time that he has spent playing Soku, he's gotten onto like Coco's level and higher even. Like, at this point, he's on the brink of destroying everybody in DC.
He's almost banned. He's going to once he wins another time. He's banned.
He hasn't even been here that long. Like, good on him.
Fastest
feel like
improvement I've seen is the bomb and Yosu.
I feel like Coco just got some, like, I don't know, just for some reason his attitude towards the game changed and he stopped actually wanting to improve. Like, not a wishing for him, oh yeah, I should probably get better. It's like actually making an effort. I may be wrong, but it just feels to me that just like Coco got stuck in the vortex of not actually making an effort to get better and complaining about the game instead, like I
It's
did.
the shit posting vortex. Oh no.
Coco's actually getting roasted right now because he is watching.
Yeah, I know, but like, fuck, man, when you join DC and then say, I lost because I got bored. Fuck you, what the hell? Like, what?
He's so bad, he got bored out of it. That's why he gave up.
Damn.
That's how I understand it.
Damn, I mean, I get bored in every single corner assault, and I still end up winning. Come on, Coco.
Jesus, man.
Oh, well.
Do we close it out? Do we shut it down?
Yeah, just shut it down. We're done. Like the mic was dropped.
Jesus Christ. That was uncalled for. That was totally uncalled for. God damn.
Literally just lighting up the entire Hisouten community.
Jesus Christ.
You pretend like our podcast on the bi-monthly roasting session of the community.
Is that even legal?
Mm,
Oh
and we're like, I don't know. I want people to get better. Like, if I can get better, then at least others should.
yeah, sounds about right. I mean, I
Then help
understand.
them, make them, play with them, give them tips. Then they might. If no
You
one
see-
wants to play
That's-
those,
Wait,
they
wait,
play
wait,
better,
more,
right?
more,
Okay,
more.
look,
It
more.
doesn't work
You
like
can give their people tips, but you can't make them fucking understand and apply it to
Yeah.
their gameplay. Unless
Exactly.
people like, that's why I stopped. I mean, mostly stopped.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to stop completely. Just telling people to like what they should change after like matches or something. Because unless they actually want and they take the initiative themselves and ask, well, Adepht, I'm fucking getting destroyed by Oku. What am I going do I need to change? Then this is meaningful. Like when people are making the decision to improve themselves, when I am not force feeding them. It's pointless if you're like telling people what to do and they're like, whatever.
When you're trying to teach somebody, do you think you like project your playstyle onto somebody though?
Yes,
Like when somebody is doing something wrong, do you tell them what you would have done instead, or something that they should have done in general?
Yes, I am just always projecting. I think it's just a meme. It became a bit of a meme when I just tell people to, like, oh, come on, pressure is not scary, just mash out. And like, I think Shinki hates me for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when, since I'm one of the few patchies left in the server, but when somebody does ask me a bit about patchy gameplay, I have to be very general about it because I know that I make a lot of mistakes, and I can only tell you so much about patchouli.
I mean, at the same time, if they are going to like, even if you are going to give them advice that doesn't really fit into their gameplay, that makes people think. Like people that want to improve, they can take wrong advice and like, I don't know, transform it into something, like to get some lessons out of it, learn something. That's the point. You can't like,
Thanks, Melancholy.
like, you can't make people learn. You can't give them information.
I mean, I wrote a 10-page guide on how you play racing with, how you play neutral with racing in my perspective, and I'm pretty sure. Look, as long as you know who the other player is, you can just say, I would have done this, and because you know that you beat that other player's ass, then they're probably getting good advice. So,
like, I'm just my advice to everyone, to people who started playing, is just fucking start doing 6D9. Like, if you don't
69, you say?
69 J5A, that's how you beat like 95, like, no, not 90, the level is higher. Okay, like 50, like 60% of the player base can be beaten by holding fucking 6D and doing, as soon as you see it, pressing 9 to high jump into J5A. Like, if you just do that,
It's true, and it's bad.
it's retarded, but
No
it works.
way.
Yes, it's true.
Morphman, it's like
60
that's
into
how you-
J5A, it works.
And it
Bullshit.
teaches the community how to win with one weird trick.
Dude, people go, oh my god, Yumi is so good, 6D is so beaten everything, and J5A of death.
That's
And
60.
it doesn't work like that.
That
It doesn't
does.
work like that. It doesn't.
No way, you're lying to me. If that was true, I would be
I
raising the
explained
monster
to
in
you
God.
how
Several
to
people
beat
are
that kind of
I mean, come
style.
on, D6J5A, what am I going to do? Neutral jump and J5A back? What's he gonna do?
Yeah,
Not
you
like-
kind of forgot to mention that everybody else already does that.
or J6A, and then you're fucked as well. What is that J5A going to do? No, it's not going to do anything. You have to come from above. Then
You
it's
have to play good character, Morphman, like Gaia or Yomo. That actually.
yeah, don't you know,
60
Suika's like
is
CT.
ass. 60 is so
Like
damn
CT.
bad.
wrong.
Okay, look, Irish wanted to say something.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, if you actually think about the way the metagame works, like, D6, high jump 9, J5A is 90% of people's play styles. Like, you can't beat them by doing the same thing. You're just gonna get mad because somebody's J5A is slightly longer than yours.
You just,
but
you
the
just
J5A
know
is
it's
so
going to
big.
But
happen.
Irish, at the same time, when you see other people beating this shit, maybe, just maybe, you will learn that you can fucking neutral jump J5A in advance.
Yes! Do that! It beats everything!
When you see other people dealing with their strats, you're supposed to learn.
But I mean, the thing is, you're acting like you already solved it, but there's lots of mix-up in neutral. Like, they don't have to jump. Like, what happens if somebody does D6 and then they just block? Do you kill yourself?
No, you don't. You get
the pressure!
You just wait them to fall back into the ground and 6-6-A if your character has a good 6-6-A. And they're gonna, and every time someone lands on the ground, they're just gonna mash high jump, and once you get that 6-6-A counter hit, that's when you link it to LRA for 5k damage, and that's when people quit.
Yeah, because with rising aerials, you have to come back down, and you're gonna be really negative on the way back down.
Wait, you don't random jump J5A neutral jump, and if they do move around, you do this J5A. I mean,
So it's a mix-up. It's more complicated than the way I explained it.
It's like
okay. Let me be a real Venus right now. It would be a mix-up if people actually made the use of that mix-up, but it doesn't happen. And that's a thing, a real thing, and it's really annoying. People just run towards you and press J5A. And that will happen until the end of time.
I can agree with that.
It's awful.
Make it a mix-up with... why make a mix-up when you can play character that which has high jump 9 J5A that hits other characters standing?
I guess that's true.
Maybe that's why people hate Remilia, because they're trying to high jump J5A at her, and she's just sitting on the ground waiting for you to fall down into her claws.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
So speaking of awkward movement,
boy.
do you want to move on to the next topic?
Okay, that was good.
Wait, we had a topic?
No, yes, maybe.
no,
I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Wait. Let me check, damn it. Okay, so we went through pretty much everything, and all the remains, I guess we already hinted. What is the best part about Soku, man? What is the worst part?
Over talent and hard work, since we were talking about playtime, and we didn't really speak about like what does it mean to be a talented player? What does it mean to be a hard
we kind of went.
There is only one thing you can call a talent, and that's baseline reaction time. Like if you have, like there are several tests or whatever with like multicolored circle and stuff, and you, like if you have reaction time around 250, it's pretty good.
Talent.
If you have lower, you're bad. Like that's even better. If you have less than that, it's worse. If you have 400, that sucks.
Yeah, talent is like how well can you press buttons? How quickly can you press these buttons?
I think
How quickly can you react to pressing these buttons?
people like that are like, people with fast reaction times. If you're gonna count that, it might as well be people like Wayward, Snow Wolfie, and who else has good reaction times? I think
IROC is
IROC.
Wait,
IROC's
what's good reaction time, by the way, you're talking about?
I feel like you are talking about reaction times, but all I see is meshing. Like IROC really meshes. That is a reaction time. IROC meshes like a madman, so they don't get it.
Look, Ari also matches a lot, but I've tried it by testing out just how well she can block the mix-up of Yomu doing 2A, 6A, and I timed it by doing 6A after like different times of 2A. So I would do 2A, 6A, 2AA, 6A, 2AA, 6A, and she blocked it right every single time. So like, you know what? This person has good reaction times based on that.
I mean, that's like you react to the delay. That's how stagger pressure work. You condition into, like if you people don't react to the 6A startup, they react to the lack of move actually getting blocked.
It's not really
reaction, but that still requires some reaction time though, because
there's a lot of reaction time.
It's not. 90% of the people against Yomu block high. I don't know why. They just do. If you do 2AA and then do 6A, they will block the 6A every time.
Like you can try doing like 2AA,
I don't get it.
3A, or like if you like it would be actual test if you went for the stagger pressure with 2A, like 2A delay, 2A delay, 2A, whatever, however many time you need, and then you do 6A, and if those delays are equal to the startup of like 6A, so the like delay between different 2As and 2A and 6A is same, that would make an actual reaction test change, because I know that I can block switch in the response of stopping to a spam, but I can't react to the stagger pressure for shit. It's extremely hard.
Also, to be fair, Genki, I feel like 6A is very easy to block. Yomo 6A. I don't
Yeah,
know, I
no,
just see
but,
it coming every single time.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Like, people simply always block high against Yomu. So you always do 3A, and 99% of the time you get a wrong, which is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, seeing me and Soku.
That's because 6A is a good move, and Yomus love 6. So,
6A is a really good move, but it's mostly something you do in mid-screen because it's long range.
I mean, if people would have, like, knew about the block switching being, like, actually reacted, then 2A, 3A would have never worked.
Yet,
But
it
it
works a
does,
lot.
because, like, people react to the delay. Like, they
Yeah,
don't
when
react-
you use something like Oku's Chart 6A, you'll see Tessero never block that shit, even though it's like
I mean,
24
Irish
frames of
never block.
So wow.
I don't know, can you even react to
Why
like
do you
delay
say
4?
that?
Delay 4 isn't too bad. You still have 21
What
frames
does
to
delay-
react.
I
That's
think
a
it
third
makes
of a
Chart
second.
6A harder to block, honestly.
I mean, if that means 4A doesn't become 24 frames, but 20 frames to react.
No, 21. Oh, 25. Okay, 24. Yeah,
Wow.
never
I
mind.
actually tested before stream on Irish, and he didn't single 6A. Irish, why do you not
both you
block
can't react to
counters?
that. I mean, you can know that 6A is slightly better than 3A, but that doesn't have to say anything.
I mean, you should be able to react to the Oculus charges.
No.
Yes.
Bullshit. I can't. I just can't.
Chart 6A?
Do this.
Charge 6A is like 27 frames, both 6A and 3A, and like... you are
27
expect-
frames at 4 delay, we have about 23...
Yeah, and it's still...
22 frames, that's how many milliseconds? 300. Good luck.
And Morph, you're expected to do that. I am not going to say anything, but in Street Fighter, for example, average startup of an overhead is, I mean,
15.
of course, no, it's
Yeah,
not 15.
I mean,
shut the
It's
fuck up.
15. God damn it! I already
Yeah,
checked.
yeah.
Most overheads are 15. God damn
And
it!
overhead is
Average
not,
startup.
you're
of
not
an
supposed to
overhead
block overheads, right?
like 6,
You have
7
to react and read them.
Dude,
You have to read them.
You can check Ryu, which is the main character, and he has a
If
15.
most overheads have 15 frames startup and others have
You have to read
or
them,
more,
not react
it
to them.
doesn't mean that the average startup of the overhead is 15.
I
It's
swear,
pretty
I
weird.
go. You know what? I'm going to check every single character head overhead. Go, I
Jury's-
swear.
Jury's 6
So,
medium
I'm
speed
going-
is 20.
Be right there.
Morphman, on the topic, you don't have to count in milliseconds. Soku runs in 60 frames per second, so you can just, if something's 20 frames, that means it takes a third of a second to happen.
Yes, 1/3 of a second. That's, for some people, borderline impossible.
I don't think that's impossible for anyone, honestly.
I mean,
I think it's hard for
Only you,
supposedly,
baby.
supposedly Shinki has 400 millisecond reaction time.
Damn, that's why it's for Shinky.
Like,
mean,
I
someone
know
does
that
the
I
charged
have
attack,
some-
I can't do anything.
Are we
That
gonna
I-
post
guy
the
just
reaction
can't.
times now?
I have reaction time between 250 and 270 most of the time. Like,
Well, then be lucky.
and of course,
You're-
and you just need to know that the reaction time can be trained, and when you don't react to the fucking colored circle, switching colors, and react to stuff you already are used to, like start
That's not reacting, that's predicting.
in Soku. No, you are going to have less reaction time. More reaction time can be trained.
So you mean play Osu?
No, it's not. It won't help you fucking react in Soku. Also is pattern recognition, and like it's not actually. I am not going like playing a new map and also is going to be a reaction time test, but actually playing Kosu and competing in it is not a reaction time test. You don't react in Osu, you just fucking press buttons.
I feel like talent goes a little bit further than just reaction times, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems a little bland.
I know you have a very strong opinion on like how reaction time could affect your gameplay indefinitely, but first of all, we do play on like Soku roll, and we do have delay, and it's not always easy to respond to those. Like things like Oku 6A, I always wrong block if it's not on delay 3 or delay 2. But as far as talent goes, like, I feel like you can be pretty good at Soku if you played a lot of fighting games in the past. The only difference with Soku is that you have to implement your knowledge of bullets and grazing.
I actually wanted to test this. Like, I want to get some, like, whatever, like, good fighting game player with a lot of experience in other fighting games, and to just watch how much that affects his Soku learning. Like, how fast will he learn the game up to the good level?
Honestly, I think I would categorize that as mindset more than just talent. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people go into Soku with the correct mindset, and that is why they seem to improve a lot faster than others.
So what makes a good Soku player? Mindset, talent.
No, wait, no, Blaze. We are trying to understand what talent is. You can't
talent
make
is easy to explain. Talent is just the amount of time you invest compared to your payoff.
No!
Meaning if you invest little time and get very good, you're highly talented, or you work effectively. That's something else. Okay.
What about somebody who D6s all day and does J5A like we were discussing earlier and wins from that? Do you think they're talented?
No, I just wish the community's that.
I know everyone else is a retard.
Wait, so do you mean that Oku players are naturally more talented than others then?
No.
No, I just said it's also about the effectiveness of learning. I mean, if you never tried to do something,
okay, look, Oku is really easy to get pretty good at, like, and beat people that have a lot more time spent than you. Does that make Oku players naturally more talented than other players?
Why would you think so? Winning games doesn't actually lead to much. It's about actual improving. Like, I mean, of course, if you just need free hits. If you just need free hits to win the game,
then how are you going to judge actual improvement rate of people without getting to the win rate?
I don't know, you do stuff until it doesn't work, and then you adapt from there. But then again, you know, like, Oku is like a scrub slayer, I'm sorry to say. That's just how I see it. Like, Oku destroys the new players.
That's true.
But
I'm back, by the way.
yeah, I know, getting better with Oku is like, you have to wait until you lose, and then only from there is like how you would get better.
Oku is like Depression Quest. Everything's going great, and then everything's going terrible.
Yeah,
and
it's like that's where you learn why she is where she is on the tier list and things like that.
Just ask a good player when you play them. Hey, what do you think of the way I play? And they're gonna tell you. If they think you're trash, then you're trash. If they think you're actually good, but you have some stuff missing, then alright, that means you're doing good. I mean, I think good players probably, even though your jab, your mash might be working, they'll probably at least understand why you're winning. And if the way you're winning is because other players are bad, or because other players are just worse than you, or because you're actually good at the game.
Also, let me give you a good example of talent now that we were on the topic. We just said some people can easily react to charged attacks. You say, how can you react to how can you not react to Oku 6A? I simply can't. After 400 hours, I can't. I can expect it, yes, but I will never react to that. I mean, also, I had a set versus
Morphman, I am going to say something. Try enabling sound effects. People react faster to sound than visuals.
I try to react to sound as well. I mean, I know there's a charge attack. I can react to the sound, but I can't see what it is.
I mean, you don't need to see. Like, Oku is not going to do 3AA charge unless you're returned.
She might. Why not?
Because it's minus 17
on it.
On hits, even then you can continue your pressure. I'm pretty sure if it crushes.
No, if he doesn't get anything for 3
it's minus on crash.
Can't be minus on crash. I tested it.
No, it is.
Please continue the block stream.
It does nothing though.
Look, orphan.
Continuing
Actually,
the block
okay,
string with less
let me-
orbs to the enemy, why is
Let me
that bad?
check it. Wait, is it fucking minus on crush or not?
I mean, if it crushes, the enemy can't jump away or hit you. I think he
Yeah.
can block. Okay, he can block, but he's back in a
Okay.
he's back in a pressure state.
Okay,
It's actually 6 frames. It's
Okay.
6 frame advantage on crash, so it's not minus. Let's feel
And then
But
for
even-
7 frames, so the enemy can't jump away or mash
But
out.
even
He
if
must.
even if she gets the crash, she isn't going to do anything with it. You just get.
He's
into the-
continuing pressure. What's the issue? She can then charge
The
attack.
issue is
There is no way she's going to use A again. Just block high or low.
it's
low.
like, okay, I can here is basic idea of risk reward morphman. Why would you're asking why wouldn't Oku do a 3A charge? That's because the risk of this move getting Krong blocked to the reward you're getting on fucking Krong block is like on right block you're getting punished by 3/4 of the cast. I mean, most of the cast can 6xA this shit out. Or 6xB, whatever, doesn't really matter.
Assuming it gets right block. Assuming it doesn't have.
Okay, look, and what's going to happen on the wrong block? You crashed someone, what else? What next?
You continue goddamn pressure. I mean, you won't hit
You
him,
don't
but you will
get
continue.
fucking pressure because you
Why
got
do you not get pressure? You can press 4A again and the pressure resets.
and you need to realize that there is a push. Like you get pushed away from the opponent.
It's
when
fine.
you-
The hot meme is when you do charge 6A and then you do charge 3A afterwards and they rumble.
No, the whole hot meme is when you do 4 charge at 6 ace in a row and they all won. Because I had this happen.
Oh man, I think we got lost into this bullshit about reaction time and so.
Wait,
What we were talking about?
We're here on the fucking attitude. and
Also,
highlight.
I checked. Most characters have 17. More characters with 17 than 20. God damn it.
Frames! Are we talking about Soku? No!
Oh, I checked
You just
though. Fuck
swear.
you. I checked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're just talking at the expected reaction time tests fighting games are putting on you. By the way, nobody expects you to block overheads on reactions in
Yeah.
fighter because that's impossible. They're
Yeah.
designed it with being like whatever. It's like cheap damage, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Also, don't forget, in these
Kind of.
games where overheads are super fast, thing is, most attacks can be blocked low. Almost all attacks except overheads, because that's the reason they are overhead. In Soku, that's not the case. A low or high block doesn't lead to a hit, so it's more linear in that case. So you can't expect if the enemy hits high or low.
Okay, look, Sanger is saying something about that adaptation is a talent as well. You see, the adaptation is not a talent, it's a quality of player, it's also a mindset. Like, you adapt when you understand in your mind that the shit you're doing just doesn't work and you need to change something.
I mean, that can come with talent.
And
If
that's
somebody can
called
learn that skill from hard
mindset.
work.
It's
Like,
a
yes.
mindset, it's
Yeah.
not a talent.
No, I think that is a skill that comes over time because, I mean, basically, the reactions are like one big option select. You look at all the possible list of things that can happen, and then you look at what is the most optimized thing that you can do to counteract all those things, and then you like add into the equation what has the opponent been doing so far, and what would it be logical for them to do now. That's not talent, that's just thinking
Yeah,
about the
okay.
game.
That is a read reaction, and it's easy as fuck to pull off. And I do that every time. You just prepare your reaction to a read, and when that happens, you react. It's pretty simple, actually.
Action.
You see this in my gameplay almost all the time. Like, you've told me straight up that like, I play by such a flowchart, and the only times that it'll ever change is when I start losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
The refuse plays us by the flowchart of am I knocked down, high jump 8.
It's a read reaction.
Work,
It's not a-
then the refuse is in die pinch.
No, you haven't seen Zero Fuse play. Here is his flow chart. Alright, where's the enemy? Far away. J5C. Where's the enemy? Getting closer. J5C. Where's the enemy?
No.
Right on top of me.
He
Get
actually
away.
does J6C.
J5C.
He actually does J6C when the opponent is very far away.
Yes, but he will never press a melee button.
No, he will. Man, he is actually good.
But Chile
Irish,
doesn't
Irish,
have muscles. She's not meant to attack things with her hands.
It's just too elegant.
Mhm.
Too deep.
She's not
Why are we
gonna dirty her feet with
Guys, why
heavy
are we
little
trying
smacks.
to talk each other instead of actually discussing
because I
stuff?
already know Irish wants to shit talk my waifu. I'm just deterring him from it.
No, wait, he doesn't want to shit talk your wife, he wants to shit talk you.
But that's fine on stream, I guess.
Okay, anyway, back to the point of talent. Like, talent is something that makes you better at learning, and I would say it's mostly physiological. You can call constructive mindset and thinking about the not going into the fucking whatever, like this understanding that you losing is your fucking fault.
Oh yeah, like the kind of mindset where you actually try to constantly adapt.
I'm not going to call this mindset a talent, because it's not. Actually, that's a bad argument, but
people don't have that mindset, and that's why they lose.
I mean, that's not why they lose. That's why they never improve.
Which is why they lose. Got him.
Coco put it in a great way. Oh, I'm not talented. Oh well, time. Maybe I have more luck in the next life.
Yeah, we once did the math and we realized that really we should all just kill ourselves because we might be reincarnated as Splinter, and then we would be the most talented people on the planet.
Oh,
Wait,
jeez.
what? Why would you think that Splinter is talent?
He is a god.
Sure, he's talented, but I think he's the type of player who's become good through hard work rather than talent.
I mean, he's
I'm
very
going to
successful.
say that Splinter is good, I guess, to some extent. I'm going to make a lot of assumptions here. I think that Splinter is overcommitted to the idea of making a single gimmick work.
What?
Hey,
No.
he got better. He's playing a lot better these days.
I'm not saying that he is playing bad or
Okay, then.
He does
It's
more
just-
than
it's just
Tango
like-
you know.
he can do better if he
True.
I'm not going to abandon but not rely on it too much. Like, I've seen him playing Dream Chasers. It's like if he's like 2 on
He really
4 and
he really believes in
doesn't
himself.
work, it's shit. Like, it's done. If you can't block his stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, he dies. That happens. Yeah, basically, he really suicides us all.
Yeah, I always notice that Splinter's problem is literally never blocking in the air. Once he's in the air, he cannot let go of the dash button.
Mystery. Yeah.
Blocking there is like, I don't know.
Just block. Just fucking block.
I mean,
Blocking
you
is
ended
gay.
the fucking infinite pressure string that lowers you to the ground, and then you eat
It
the fucking
only works-
unblockable.
It'll
You know,
It's
Irish-
not a blocking
Irish.
game.
I need to fucking, to beat Blaze Dragon, I need to stop blocking in air after he J5 ace me, because this fuck always goes for the D8 into D2, like the standard lowering string, and then I eat whatever iron blockable with far 5A. And if I start just pressing buttons a lot like a fucking monkey I am, I'm going to win a lot more. Until he adapts and starts pressing J stuff.
So yeah, it's dumb. What are we talking about? I think
We're talking about talent. And
Oh yeah, are we sure about that?
yeah, I mean, the issue is we can't define talent because we are. I'm not sure if we are divided on the stance that we can't call mindset a talent. Does someone disagree with the statement that the person mindset is not a talent?
Well, no, yeah, I mean, makes sense.
Okay,
not- it's not talent.
let's move forward then. What is
Yeah.
a talent aside from reaction time if it's not a mindset? What can we call a talent?
With a reaction time, we already said that can be obtained with some experience.
If it's not a reaction,
The baseline reaction times that you start training it from some number, and that number is basically your ability to react to Kirkle change in color. And people react to Kirkle's changing colors faster than others.
Hmm.
And it's like baseline reaction time or something.
Yeah, like, honestly, I think outside of those two things we've already listed, I don't think talent exists outside of that. I think after that, it's just a pure... It's just effort plus time expended on an activity that will determine how good you get.
I'm going to say it's
Wait.
effort.
I think Bob Ross said something like that. What was it?
I don't know,
No,
but
but-
TLDR, spend more time in the practice room and play more Soku.
Yeah.
Just play game!
Oh yeah, Bob Ross said that talent is it's just wait.
There are no combat
Bob
rules.
Ross is so good. God damn, I don't remember though.
We don't make mistakes, we just make happy accidents.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go with that. Let's move on. Meanwhile, God damn, Bob Ross. I'm sorry.
Shall we move on to the last topic?
Sure.
Okay, so, I don't know. I wanted Blaze's input on this, but I think Blaze's teeth are currently falling apart. So, Zero views. Zero, to you, what is the best part about Soku? And then, what is the worst part about Soku?
Wake up DP is the best. The worst part is dying.
Wait. Why do you think that wake up DP is the best and then you don't feel...
Because
I remember.
In Soku, it's not the best in other games, don't forget.
Because somebody who is full Unga against you and they do not respect your wake up, they will lose the DP.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that, and it's so hilarious to watch.
J5A on someone's wake up, it's so Unga, how dare they? I'll press 6-3 for that one.
I'll be using my Emerald City on that. Thank you, motherfucker.
I mean, we still remember when I played Patchouli with Emerald City, I got like 9.9k HP lead and I lost it all by DPing on Wake Up 4 times in a row because I was sure that he's not going to bait it after third time. Like, why would you bait a DP 4 times in a row? That doesn't make sense.
You don't forget the best way to actually deal with that. I mean, watch Patchouli use the P, and then use Silent Selene as a spell reversal, and then DP again. Nobody will ever not fall for that.
This is part of the Morphman gameplay. Yeah, dude. The bait is that you whiff the DP to think they're safe, and then you do the reversal.
God
And
damn
then
it.
they might block that,
I mean,
but then you DP
I'm going
again.
to remember, like, Patchouli has the stupid Thunder Punch that it's not punishable on block, and I remember, like, Patchouli's abusing this shit on me, like, by DPing, like, 10 times in a row. Because, I don't know, like, when you block a DP, you expect a punish, but there is none. And then you get fucked.
Disgusting, really. Disgusting.
Okay. I'll
Alright,
give my honest opinion before you move on. To be honest, yeah, it's the card system. I like the fact that I can replace like any of my skills because sometimes I really just don't want to play with Fireball. Not that it's bad, I just don't want to use it. I want to use something like
it's
Summer
so
Flame.
good to break up the monotony of Soku revolts.
And then
Yeah.
the worst part about Soku, I don't know. It's got to be getting out of pressure. It's just the worst feeling sometimes because you're gonna spend a minute in corner sometimes against someone like Yukari.
It's playing against Blaze and realizing that corner is where you will be for the rest of the set.
Yeah, the corner is your new home. If you're a new player, welcome to the corner, man.
Oh man.
Alright, go ahead.
Let's go down the line. Alright, Genki, best part about Soku, worst part about Soku. Go.
Okay, that best part. I really like the fluid gameplay. It's really free. I would say that it's free-form fighting game in a sense, and that's really enjoyable for me. Plus, I get to play as Yomu, so alright for me. I mean, that's
bags.
it's the obvious. I have to say it. It just I started Soku just for that, and I'm still here for that. But yeah, mostly the gameplay is really enjoyable.
There's more to life than just waifus, Genki.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck out of here.
That's own topic, Zero Views. Waifus are their own topic.
Staying on topic, the worst part instead, while the game is really free and enjoyable, pressure is fun, defense is really good, blah blah blah, the game is good. I really would enjoy more if grabs were in this game. I so would enjoy it more.
Usable grabs,
What
you
are
mean?
these
I just want to grab people. Give me a grappler. Suika is
There's
so
a
close
lot
to
of
that.
grabs.
Suika is so close to that, but not so.
She's a great
fine.
grab of shitty
I'm
grabs.
going to say that thank you to Sephiroth for making this game without grab.
You are the worst human being right now.
Yo, Suika's got Massacre. That should be a hell of enough grab for you.
It's not a
Yeah,
grab. It's a
it doesn't.
command grab.
It's an it grab. It's not even a good guy. Come on,
It is a
grab.
good grab, it's just so
Ah.
ganky.
No, fuck you. You use it in the most stupid
I
way
should
ever.
refuse the replay where you get massacred.
God, I don't even know how that happens. Oh,
I know.
this is
Anyway.
awful.
Moving on to why I think what the worst part is, I'm agreeing
Let's go,
fully
Orf.
use is the card system. I love it how you can actually learn other moves. I mean, I think other fighting games also give you allow you to change moves, but also leveling them up, and leveling them up can change a ton.
Oh, that's so crazy. The fact that you can level stuff up in this game.
Yeah, and that's what I like the most in a fighting game. I'm pretty sure it does something like that doesn't happen, making something permanently strong and giving it more what is it called? Properties, yeah. Giving a move more properties mid-game. And you also have to balance out if you want to level up your stuff or waste those levels for a spell for extra damage.
It's strategic.
Yeah, I mean, I use the Armored Punch for Suika because it helps my defense. And I don't know in any other fighting game that you can level up your attack and attack that improves your defense, for example. It helps a lot just making the game feel less monotonous. I mean, you know your character's moves, but you can change them up, and they change mid-game as well.
Yeah,
That's what
I can attest to that. Like something like Patchouli's Summer Red, the Fireball, when it's at level 4, it actually has a defensive mechanism if you whiff. Because the fire trail behind it really does catch people, like, they just don't expect it. They get hit by it, and then you're just safe.
It's like cheer nose freeze, don't touch me.
And then now we come to the worst part, which who would have guessed in my part is defense in Soku. Okay, I don't play many fighting games, for example, but in Soku it feels for me like, oh, you blocked once, you're dead. That's it, you're dead. Maybe you get lucky and you can tech out and the enemy messes up their Okizeme, or you get lucky on a DP, but usually I think once you get knocked down, you're dead in Soku. I mean, I've played only 2 other fighting games. One is Melty Blood, where you had better defense options, if you ask me. Like, you could block on time to push the enemy further away. You had an actual evade button. Or in Eternal Fighter Zero, where you can just parry every attack as long as you anticipate it right. And Soku just lacks that mechanism, if you ask me. The coin is not bad, but it's not a game changer entirely, at least not in many situations. Just grazing out is like in any fighting game trying to jump out.
That point can get you out of so many pressure situations.
And then there's Border Escape, which I, for fuck's sake, can't learn after these hours. I just can't tell if it's a great system mechanism or not, but since I never get to use it, I must say I hate it.
I don't know. Soku has a lot of defensive option in its gameplay.
There are too many.
There's so many.
There's a ton of defense options. They're all situational.
Yeah, but at the same
if
time,
they're all situational, you don't get to use them right at most places. That's how I see it, at least.
My dude. They have to play around so many defensive things. Like, think of it on the offensive aspect. If you're trying to crush somebody and they're just blocking everything and they're being at the right points, think of how well they just got out of pressure. Because
they still lost their orb. Don't forget. I mean, you didn't hit him or anything, but hey, he lost that goddamn orb.
It'll be
even
back.
if you
It'll
deep
be
it right, you get a minus of it.
I mean,
And
I am not sure if you understand Morph, but Soku is basically... I mean, you play Soku with 4 orbs. 5 orbs is a miss. That's not going to happen.
Also, in Soku, you can't reverse the actual state of the match instantly. There is no mechanism like that. You can't say within the next 20... What? Doesn't happen in Soku. Only with a DP, if that hits. But
I mean,
they
at
don't
the
always work.
same time, the real comeback mechanics in most fighting games are complete fucking bullshit. You don't feel good when you get hit by random junk into Ultra in Street Fighter 4, for example.
Oh man, that's awful.
That's the stuff of nightmares. Like, it might sound good on paper, let's give.
No, it doesn't. This one even on paper is something.
It's so fucking frustrating. You don't understand how bullshit it feels to get swept by like after you played most of the game, like let's say it correctly.
That's an experience thing. As I said, I know only 2 other fighting games and I don't know them that much. But compared to those 3, Soku's defense is just horrible. Just horrible for me.
Wait, why is it horrible? I wasn't here.
I mean, Morphman can't border a
Yeah,
skill.
You just missed the rant, boy. Come on.
I basically said
Look,
I played
I'll give you-
Ultimate and Total Fighter Zero, and defense in both of those games is awesome compared to what Soku has.
Yeah, because all
That's
you have to
how
do
I
is
see it.
block.
I swear, you didn't play enough fighting games. Because
Yeah,
Soku
that's
has
what
really
I'm
good
saying.
defense.
I mean, in other fighting games, it might be even more bullshit. I don't know about that, but
It's like, I
talking
don't
about
know,
the best and
Morphman.
worst of Soku, I must say that's a game breaker for me. Basically, like if I wanted to say I'm quitting Soku, it's for defense, nothing else.
I am not going to agree here. It's like Soku managed to have defense like that's both interactive, like, and you need to play around options for both offense and defense sides without relying on crutches like parries or dragon punches. Like when you have pressure that you actually need to know like 1.5 specific places where you have to fucking DP or like parry correctly, or even worse, instant block. Like instant block is bullshit, and parry is even worse. Those are like it's like crutches. When you can't make a like interactive offense, you're adding those things to make it look like wow. There is a lot of like, I hate parries and with passion.
Yeah, I mean, the parry system.
It's like I can kind of understand the idea of instant blocking, but at the same time,
I think one other thing is in Soku when you're losing by a hot lead, let's say if you have like 10% and the other person has 100%, it feels like extremely bad because it's almost impossible to come back from Soku if you're at that kind of disadvantage. In other games, like your combos do 80%, so if you have 10% and the other person has 100, at least if you hit him in a single combo, they'll do like half their HP, and if you hit them with another mix-up,
that's some
you're almost
Kusage
dead.
you're talking about. Blaze in most fighting games combo like 30 to 40%, like good combos, and like 80% is some 100 all the meter burned level combos.
That's Marvel.
But even with all the meter burned, what are you gonna get in Soku? 4K?
I mean 4 to 5k.
True story.
5k usually is the top.
LRE
I can still
does
deluge.
3.8k, like, and Okizeme, I mean, you can still get out of pressure even after that. And the thing is, like, what if they just summon Typhoon on you? Nice. Try and come back from that one. Like, Soku gives so much advantage to the person who's actually winning. So, I mean, that's sort of like how I feel about it.
You're building meter by hitting people.
At the same time, you have enough tools to not get like you shouldn't be at such a big life disadvantage
Yeah, you're right.
in a relatively even match. Like if you're outmatched, yeah, that shit happens. But most of the time, unless you're playing versus Utsuho, where like it's actually like a real fighting game, you guess wrong 2-3 times, your next round starts. There shouldn't be such a big health disparity between two parties. That's usually the sign of one player being significantly better than the other, because of how like balanced, I would say, the overall gameplay is.
I kind of want to move on because I feel like defense is a really big topic, and there's no way we're going to be able to cover all of that.
Alright,
Just
fine.
about-
So we
Overall,
were talking about what's the best and worst part of Soku since Blaze Dragon just came back. What do you think? What do you like the most about Soku compared to other fighters maybe, and what do you hate the most?
Ooh.
For Blaze.
Oh, the best about Soku is probably the amount of options thanks to the movement and the space there is on the moves. So I think positioning is a really big important thing about Soku, just because stuff like punishability of a move, how possible it is for you to hit another person, and how quickly they can get out of the way. It all changes with where you are placed on the map and how you can move around. And I think that's basically flying and grazing are one of the best parts about Soku. At least for everyone. I think in general, a lot of people just like flying, grazing. For me, it's one of the top reasons. But I also like the way Soku does pressure. I think it's amazing. Now there is a downside about it. I don't like the little amount of damage you get from doing damage, but the way you pressure in Soku is amazing. Like you mix up with bullets, and you follow up with ROM blocks, and then you do meter pressure to continue off, and snowballing pressure. And I like snowballing. Snowballing is like to me one of the coolest things. It reminds me of Street Fighter 2. No, Street Fighter 3, Alpha 3. If you've seen it, it has a block meter too, right?
Yes. You can break God by
and
punching.
I love that so
That
much
sounds
because
even more.
Are you Daigo? Daigo really love the thing.
like when I was playing Alpha 3, I was like, yo, this feels like Soku again. And because once I got a person to a certain amount of block meter, I just did DP on the wake up and they got crush blocks every single time. I was like, yo, this is amazing. I love this. This reminds me of Soku pressure. And in Soku, like you also have meter pressure, which just makes it a lot more fun to me. One card resets. Killer Door. I don't care what you guys think about Killer Door. I think Killer Door is pretty cool. I like Reimu's 2-card T-Lore pressure. I think that's amazing. I like Mega Flare. Mega Flare is fucking cool because it actually makes ROM block 6A into an actual low, because once you ROM block 6A, you get hit by 5C into Mega Flare. That's like
Fun.
all of your orbs gone. You have one more time to ROM block and that's it. You're getting crushed.
You call it fun. I mean, look at me. I say I can't react to any bullshit, so a wrong block happens all the time. So one wrong block and I'm crushed. Oh,
I mean,
great.
you also got chains though. You also got chains, and chains is amazing. Like you pull someone into a chains, and now they're at 2 orbs. So now you only got to do some mix up, and then you win the round off of that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this conversation is really indicative of who's doing the pressure and who's receiving it.
Sadly, oh boy.
There's also bullet pressure, and movement-based pressure, which I think is really cool.
Movement-based pressure is the best. It's like being able to, like the thing I complained about and told that I should mesh more, like when the J5A into nothing, into fly up, fly down, the basic.
Yeah, that looks sick. You fly up, and then Racing flies up at you, and you get ready for the J8A, and it does come, but she cancels quickly into JV, J44, J8A, and you try flying out, and you get hit by it again. So she just does nothing.
It's not like just air pressure where people do like almost nothing. They just like fly up and down in front of you while you're blocking because you're respecting stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't like how little amount of damage some characters do get in that, but and I don't like that Tosofo reduces damage from guard crush. I think that's a pretty stupid idea.
I don't know. I think it's fine.
And I would, the best kind of thing I would imagine is if ROM block did 2 orbs instead of 1.
What?
Jesus Christ! What? Jesus Christ!
Shut the fuck up, Blaze! Blaze, you're disqualified from this discussion.
You're the best, Blaze. I love you.
If wrong block, the effect should actually hit. It should be like
Advice Owl literally said BE should be 2 orbs. So I'm like, really? You want to border escape 2 times against Racing and have 1 orb in neutral? Okay, Advice Owl, you got it.
Yeah,
like,
you need 2 BEs to get out of Racin's chase anyway. Like, half the time.
I do like what you said about spell card usage though, or like meter usage, because in pressure, like not many games really have that. You get the option of like guard crushing or just mixing up the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that at the same time that like I'll both like and dislike the heavy reliance on metered pressure, especially on like some characters. Like Kamachi basically will never break your guard unless she spends meter.
You haven't seen me yet.
That would. I mean, yeah, of course. It starts to get a little stale when you focus all the power in one spell card. But if you have something like Oku, and I know some people like to bore people out with fucking Tokamak, but there's also the ones who actually try to play in a fun way and also effective. Because Tokamak is not as effective as people think it is, just because it's boring.
Shout out to Diamond Hardness.
Tokamak is fairly effective, and if you have 5 stars,
Tokamak is retarded.
into Mega Flare is like, yeah, guaranteed.
Blaze is good. That's all he has to say.
But why is Blaze backing me up? I always said Tokamak sucks, and Blaze says it's also not that great. I'm covered. I can
It's
keep
not-
spouting my stuff.
Morphman, he didn't say that it's not great. He said that the Oko might have some better tools, which I don't agree with. I mean, it's not that
I don't think 4 Tokamaks is super.
Yeah, I think 4 Tokamaks is an overkill. I run 2 to 3 in most of my decks, and I think that it's enough.
To me, 2 is the cap. Like, if you're gonna play like Alpha now, you're trying to make me kill myself. But there's also Visor and Mega Flare. Mega Flare are super amazing. It also depends on the matchup, I guess. I don't like low tier defenses in this game. I don't like Yomu. Yomu's way too defensive of a character. She makes things a lot stupidly variable
It's
when it's
just
under
like-
pressure.
I would say that I hate the most
As the defender, I'm really
like
happy.
characters with unreasonably small crouches. Fuck Raisin. Fuck Yuyuko. Fuck Yomo.
Wait, Yuyuko
Like,
isn't even not.
No,
Yuyuko
Yuyuko's
is
short.
so
Yuyuko's
small.
Yuko's crouch is actually.
Genki, I'm going to,
You can
Genki, I'm going to tell you something. Aya's 5B whiffs on crouching Yuyuko.
Yuko crouch isn't even that low. Like I
Wait,
understand.
No, it is. It is.
It
It
is.
actually is.
What?
The animation is deceptive. It's actually the same height as Raisin's, and I think even
Mhm.
Zuri does crouch.
Wait, what? Really?
Yes, I'm not even-
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you real?
Like fuzzing hair is extremely hard.
No. There's image in think
In
beginner.
Soku Advice, there's an image pinned.
Yeah. Let me
If you
Let's
want
see.
to talk about real reasons why Yuyuko's top tier, it's not J2A, it's that bullshit.
Let me check.
Yeah, it's like crouching height.
Wait, what? She's third
Wait.
place. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Genki, I told you, like, there is, like, Aya's 5B actually whiffs on crouching Yuyuko. and
Yomo is actually pretty far away.
It's like, it's stupid, like, how big of an impact the crouch height makes. Like, half of the reason why Yukari isn't stupid, like, good is because she's big in air and she has one of the biggest crouches in the entire game.
Yeah.
To the point where like some characters can J9 and J5A on her crouch.
It's amazing.
Nice fuzzy, yeah.
Thanks for the fuzzy. Yes.
I was gonna say about another cool stuff that I love about Soku. It connects with what you're just saying right now. It's the balance between air and ground game. Crouching. All right, I know you said you just hate crouching, but I actually really think it's a really cool concept that you can crouch over air normals and just punish people that whiff that don't really know how to aim air normals correctly, and they try to high jump as soon as you land, and you hit them as they land, and people get hit by that so much times.
Shout
Shout
out to Coco.
Blaze,
in every video game?
Shout out to Coco. Where are you going to stay? Something bad. What is the worst?
Oh no, I only had 2 things to say. It was that,
Okay.
and like, Adepht, come on. I mean, if Crouch is wearing that good in this game, you just see people be doing diagonals, and
Look,
to me
look,
that
Blaze,
bore me
Blaze,
out of my
Blaze,
mind.
Look,
Blaze.
Yomu is honest.
Issue
Look at
here
that.
is not the crouches being too good or too bad. It's them not being universal. Like around Pacholi's crouch height, it stops from being retarded. I mean, like, okay, you're closer to. I mean, I guess it depends on normal character can do, but like, it's not universal. Not every character can crouch under some bullshit. And that's
I
the
think
issue
every
here.
character
I
can
can
crouch
I
in
can
fighters, so.
understand the I generally, yeah, I'm I like crouching with Raisin under some J5 phase. Like I like dashing forward with Raisin and doing 6A, like as an anti-air, just by dashing under people and making their J5A whiff that way and stuff. Like it's cool, but and yeah, I can see that like not every character should have that ability because Raisin is like unique tools and stuff. But this is going too far on the unique tools, unique tool set, in my opinion. Like other games handle it by giving characters the. I mean, Blast Blue has that, and most like several other games like had invul priority when like you're just invulnerable to air moves.
I hate that though because like. No, I really hate dedicated anti-airs. They're really because they just like make people stay on the ground forever, and then you try to like jump at them and they hit you. So I don't know. I just want to have the option of being above or below someone and not be crippled by the game just because the game made an entire button just to beat out your option.
Well, like, I mean, at the same time, game generally.
What is this?
I mean, at the same time, Blaze. Most games generally give you ability to beat the anti-airs by like, for example, in Blast Blue you can double jump over the anti-air and stuff, but and you can't do anything in Street Fighter because Street Fighter is a shit game.
What the fuck? You can space yourself, my nigga, maybe, my boy. You can space yourself an empty jump like a smart boy, my boy.
I mean, you can still air grab them though, and. What? Or air to air them, and Soku lets you cancel out of movement a lot quicker than other games let you cancel moves out of air dash. So in a way that does power up the air game in Soku. But then you also have like character size in Soku is humongous, so it's really hard to actually hit people that are below you. And as Anders told me yesterday. Just like Marvel, Soku has dedicated moves to hitting people high in the air, like Jaded Ace, and I think that's really cool. And I don't think that narrows down people to playing a certain playstyle. Like people, like dumbass FGC people telling you, "Oh, don't jump, it's a fighting game, not a flying game."
It's a jumping game.
It's not a jumping game. Stop jumping. I'm like, no, man, just let me jump. I just want to have freedom, and I think Soku gives you a lot of that. Yeah. What was I looking at?
What is the worst part, Blaze? What is the bad part of Soku? Tell us the
worst part of Soku. How hard it is for people to do Okizeme.
Is
like so. The worst part about Soku to you is how badly other people play.
Yeah,
of course.
Look, honestly, I don't think it's you guys. I just realized that Soku is just really difficult in some areas of basic stuff that are simplified in other games, but in this game they're stupidly technical. Like wake up. Like
it's not only technical. It's like extremely matchup dependent.
Yeah.
Like every character having different wake up timing, different ground tech lengths, invulnerable ground tech.
Yeah.
Like I am not going to say that Soku would be a better game if we just like made a ground roll fucking vulnerable.
What was the word? Homogenized.
I mean, it might become a better game, but some skills like Sphere Bloom would need to be rebalanced.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you say that a better game is one that is that makes people have fun with it, then having Wake Up not be as arbitrary as it is in Soku, a lot of people would generally have a lot more fun if they could just pressure people on the Wake Up instead of for the first 5 months figuring out why people could just high jump on Wake Up every single time, and then they face a good player and they just get hit for trying to do shit on Wake Up that they shouldn't be doing, but everyone else lets them do it. And I think that's just I don't know. I guess in a way I started to understand when I started teaching a lot of people how to do Okizeme, and I realized, like, dude, I just got used to the animation startup frames of every single character's wake ups.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe that's why I can do it, and expecting people to learn it in like under a week is unrealistic.
It's the issue is that at the same time, like I'm going to say that giving opportunity to like semi-guarantee, like guarantee okay, would fuck like a lot with what you like about Soku Blaze. Like you like snowballing pressure because of crash torps and stuff. Like now imagine how much stronger that becomes just because you like there is no opportunity to roll around. Like,
I mean,
wake ups are not like you have the setups to more or less.
Diamond
force
Dust is
it,
like that.
but at the same time, you generally need to expand resources. But like most, like when you Oki me, most of the time you're going to like expand an orb on trying to cover my no tech and then cover the ground tech. That's the resource expenditure from you that wouldn't be needed if the wake ups were guaranteed. That would make your like +1 orb on offensive side is basically like that's huge difference. Like what are you going to do on guaranteed wake up like if you broke 2 orbs? Like if you have 2 orbs broken, you fucking like I don't know, half of the cast can do random bullets into random spell cards and it's done.
well, the thing is, like, you have bullets, right? And the cute thing is that once people get below 3 orbs, when I'm using Raisin, I just start doing some shit into 2C, 236. But people never actually dash out between Jab and 2C. And I know you're gonna tell me, oh, that's just retarded. Like, there's no way people should be able to dash out between Jabs and 2C, 236. That's literally impossible. And yes, it almost is, but you still have a way to get out. Right? So I mean,
but at the same time, there would be almost guarantee. Like you can't expect people like when Raiden comes up to you and does 4A236, like it's
just
not
hold
reactable.
forward. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be holding forward, but still, like, besides, you also get stuff like Talisman and Coin and Hingeki. I don't think it's that bad. If everyone had Race and Wake Up, besides Sphere Bloom, of course, Sphere Bloom being retarded and all. But
should be
yeah, Race and Wake Up on everyone. I can get behind that.
yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Like, everyone would just do some.
Actually, yeah, I would agree that having a universal wake up, except for maybe like few other characters that like actually needed, because I feel like characters like Patchouli would not survive having Raisin wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same for Roku.
She'll be fine. She's got a beat.
I'm not sure about Oku. Oku might survive, so that would suck. Like, if
Alright,
you-
she's got the 12 frames of invulnerability on backdash. She's fine.
I mean, at the same time,
that shit
her
gets me
wave
all the
dash
time.
takes like. I'm going to say that several characters have backdashes better than Oku's just because they don't last like 2 seconds. Whatever, like the total time of Oku's Oku can easily backdash out of like stuff a lot of, but at the same time she doesn't get any reasonable advantage due to how long that shit lasts, unless your opponent is standing on place and whiffing his melee. He shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. You're right. Okay, so next thing I don't like about Soku
Oh, wow.
is
Wait, let's stop.
There's
this
another
place.
one?
yeah, combo ability. This is something I haven't really explored for a long time. I mean, at all that much, honestly. But I can almost tell that it's really hard to combo out of certain situations in Soku. And people might tell you that it's one of the easiest fighting games to execute combos in. And I get that, but at the same time, it's one of the hardest fighting games to convert stuff from random hits, just because counter hits don't really have enough hit stun value, or some hits just tilt the opponent in a freaking weird way, and they don't let you combo correctly.
Mid-screen
sort of-
counter hit J5
Let-
face.
Yeah,
Can I tell
that
you
sort of
why that
annoys
is? You don't know because you don't have the juggle meter in Soku.
No,
You never
that's-
know when something can continue or not outside of actually practicing and noting it down and memorizing.
We have juggle meter at like where to is model for practice at least, and
Send
like
me
the
that.
issue here is that like one of mine issues is just like the recurring situation for me, like that really fuck. Like some characters have like combos of 4A, like Raisin for example can 4A6 be correct, and okay, but then you do stuff like hitting people with like whatever low air J5A into anti-air like 4A into nothing, because it's like there is the hit stun is so small you can't reasonably follow up as soon as like it's prorated even a tiny bit, and that's stupid. Just like I don't know, like BlazBlue handles the combo system very well because they use the combo time system, which has like some faults, but basic idea is the anti-edge value scales not with current proration, but with time since the start of the combo, which is like there are like nuances, moves having different like combo time levels that allows you for different combo lengths, but it's like I would love to see that in Soku, for example. I would love to be able to have more or less stable routes for like adding stuff in front of combos and it's not fucking dropping most of the time. Like why? Like Oku has 5A, 8-2C, 236C geyser for A 3A combo for 3.5k, but if you fucking add J5A in front to that combo, you have to cut the like laser hits to I think 6 or 7. And if you get more, it drops because it got prorated like, and this is reasonable. Like I can understand. Like this is semi-reasonable because you like you can actually like react to hitting J5A. But when you do like J5A on someone jump and hit him, then you hit 4A and you can't follow up because you add the J5A and that J5A hit instead of got blocked. That's fucked up.
Another thing that hits like the slides. Some slides are just on combo. It doesn't matter. Like Racing 3A. No, but look at Cerno 3A. Don't you think Cerno 3A should be at least comboable if it hits?
Just no.
Like I'm not sure. Like Blaze, having some moves that are like maybe even like this is the reduce of reward for like several moves, and it doesn't make the game better or worse. This just like says that reward on Raizen or like Cyrnos 3A is lower, so that they are less likely to go for that move in their pressure, because if it hits, the reward is lower. I don't see any issues with that. Like it's just articulating the strengths of the character.
Yeah, I mean, there's also anti-air jabs, which are some of them are uncomboable. That kind of irks me a bit.
Yeah, I want universal roads.
Yeah, like, how do
anti-air
you-
jabs for most characters.
How do you combo
Yeah.
like anti-air Yukari 5A? Like
3A.
everybody just
Sometimes
3A?
it combos into 6A or 3A, but that's rarely happen. Like it happens less with 3A and more with A, I am going to say. But there is no stable route. And if you fucked up, like if you went 5A 6A and like you whiffed, you're fucked. Oh yeah, there is one universal route, 5A into 3 card border. It combos of 4A like punches.
Okay.
And it also combos of punches on grounded opponents, so you can like if you are getting a lot of stray hits with 4A or 2A, you should run more 3 card borders. It gives you like 2.7k damage, I think. Which is like really great, by the way. That's like insane damage increase from 3 card.
I see.
So anyway, are we done with Blaze's favorites?
I think we might.
I'm not
be.
sure.
And so I'll go ahead and move on to you, Adept. So
Okay, I am going to like to
Oh,
be
boy.
like Blaze got a lot in depth, and I am going to say that be really simple and say that the thing I like most about Soku is the simplicity of inputs. Like
Ooh,
the
what a
game
simple answer.
doesn't hide the power of like moves under the pretend that they are hard to input. Like every time I see someone say that, oh, grabs are balanced.
God damn it! Adepт!
Grab to spin my stick.
God damn it!
I didn't even say that it was you, like, because it's not only
God
you.
damn
Like some
it.
people just think that for some reason that complexity of input is a good
Because
reason,
that's how it works, damn it!
but it shouldn't.
Okay, go ahead. Otherwise,
Okay, look,
we never end.
Genki.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
Genki,
on,
shut
do
the fuck
it.
up. We're talking. This is discussion. I mean, actually,
Go
you
ahead.
shouldn't start- Okay, but
Shut
listen
up, we're
to me.
having a discussion.
Listen here, man. Like most newer fighting games are actually making the supers, which have like same complete bullshit low startups and like involve frames everywhere and stuff on inputs like fucking left trigger or left trigger and right trigger, and it doesn't derive from the game. You know, the game is doesn't become less
Yeah.
deep because somebody like a scrub can fucking ultra you on wake up by pressing 2 buttons.
That's like in every game, fighting game.
Yeah,
It's
it's
almost
like,
like
not
go-kart.
every game goes for this.
Every
But
fighting game, I know at least.
it's like
Trust me, the input kind of matters sometimes. Not
the
always.
input
but sometimes.
matters, but at the same, but my opinion that it shouldn't. And Soku
Go ahead.
being the game with really clean inputs, with like only quarter circles, like and DP inputs and backward DP inputs, and like spell cards being a single button, is like it's fair for players. Like you don't. At the same time, it decreases the whatever skill floor of the player. Like you don't need to be an input god to play Soku, and people still struggle with inputting a fucking 6-3. Like I had to practice that shit in like few hours in practice to start getting it consistent, and like several thousand, not I guess
I
like
also
2,000.
have it for a few hours. I've got 400 in those, and I still can't input it correctly.
So you're saying that the ease of input on Soku adds to
Yeah,
like your consistency in the game.
No, it's not like inconsistently. It's like it's one of you asked for what is my favorite part, and my favorite part is like inputs because they make game easy to to get into. You don't need
accessible.
yeah, more accessible for players, but at the same time, like game is still very, very deep. I mean, we hate Yuka for having like 8-frame reversal on fucking one button, because that shouldn't actually be a thing.
Nah, that's great.
What?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. The reversals on a one button are easier to because they are more obvious.
Well, the idea is that you can just use it by
I mean,
pressing the spell card button.
Okay,
True
yeah.
that.
I mean, the issue with Yuka actually not it being reversal, but it be dealing like 4 orbs on block. Yeah, that's
I think it's just dumb that it hits in every single direction.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
like there are several issues, but the issue is not with the I mean, it's
what
like
Blaze
it's
says
like
is actually so accurate because I don't actually use Yuka's reversal as a reversal anymore. I use it as a whiff punish because if anyone whiffs a button next to me, I press the reversal and they take like 3.2k. There's nothing they can do about it.
yeah,
That's the
like
bullshit.
okay, like Mr. Melancholy is getting my my point. The complexity of fighting game should not be based on inputs. And like he says completely, which makes it a stronger statement, and you are not going to say that. Oh yeah,
I would like to say something about this. It's really fast. Like
Hi.
input and what makes a game hard. Like let's forget grab. Let's forget everything. Because I play games where you have access to grabs, they do damage, and you press one button, etc., etc. There's a reason why there are strange inputs in fighting game, and that is the reason is that you need space for moves. Something like Street Fighter, you can't make a move simple because you don't.
Chaos is exaggerating though.
You
Come
don't
on,
have
man.
space.
Genki, you're exaggerating
Use the
because
chaos.
You don't have
Genki,
space
like,
to do that.
Genki, you are going to have the game with same depths if you just like.
Yeah, that's
If I'm going
that's
to,
going to stay.
remove,
That's going to
if I'm
stay.
going, if I'm going to replace half circles with quarter circles, will
Yeah.
game lose depths?
No, it's the same.
Yes,
I'm
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
Then
not
why does
advocating.
KOF have pretzel motions? Why does KOF have
That-
starfish motions?
That's just chaos being really fucking strange. But the thing is, when you do that, when you make the move really damn simple, depending on the game, you don't have enough space for moves. In Street Fighter, it won't work, for example.
Genki, I can understand, like, to some extent, I can understand the, like, why they made the grab, like, degree inputs, like 360 degree and 720 degrees inputs for like grapplers. To some extent, I understand. At the same time, I think that it shouldn't be like that. That you can make a grappler characters with simple inputs like 236, and like if I'm going to make a game where like there is a grapple character, he will have a fucking grapple on 214. There would be no full circles.
Honestly,
And then I'm going to balance the game around that fucking simple input. I'm not going to say it's fair that like you can have a 3-frame startup move that is fully invulnerable just because it has an input of 2 circles.
honestly, I disagree, but I have my reason.
Okay, like, and for what I
Anyway.
hate about Soku is it's like it's really hard because I hate losing in Soku because when you
Nice.
because
Nice.
when you lose in Soku, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Like you can't blame bullshit because game is really like, how do I say it? It's stable. No, not stable. It's consistent. You are going to get consistent results, and if you are getting consistently fucking dunked by Blaze, that means that Blaze is a better player.
I mean, when you die because of weather, though, you can blame that on inconsistency.
I mean, it happens rarely if you're watching Wizard Meter. It's like you shouldn't be dying from weather. Like this game has a lot of, like in many cases, you have the ability to know tech out of fire combo because not every character or like there are many situations where you have you can.
On the
know
other
tech.
hand, though, like with the thing with weather, it's like, all right, if you really think it's not impossible to manipulate, at least just consider the fact that it can affect both sides. Like, Typhoon doesn't just happen to you when you're at low HP. It can happen to both players if they're both baddies.
River
so-
Mist doesn't fuck your combos, it fucks everyone's combos.
Yeah.
That feel when you wait for it to fuck opponent's pressure up and it brings him close.
The best.
It's actually like it's hard to for me to find like talk about things that I actually think. I think that the like some of the spell card pressure is just stupid and degenerate. Like I'm not talking about Sakuya's killing doll, by the way. I'm talking more in line of like Yukari's Ren and actually to the less extent than like Aya's Tornado. This is fucking stupid. Like the damage equal to 2 orbs shouldn't cost like nothing. Or fucking Aya's one card that if you don't have coin in your hand, you're fucked.
I mean, it only does 0.5 though, so it's not that bad. And honestly, Tornado can be beat at the last hit, so it's
And
not that bad either.
And it could be like Aya can cut. Like she catches B with 668 or whatever else. she
Yeah,
does.
I mean, it doesn't do all of its orbs, so I don't really mind it that much. Besides, Aya's pressure tends to be like really short. It either works or it doesn't work.
I don't
I
know.
don't think-
Saya has like pretty good frame advantage and she can spam
Like, if she really had that brainless of a pressure, Splinter would be winning every single time because he's also brainless. And
Splinter's issue is not his pressure. And also don't insult someone on the
I'm kidding.
His problem is air tagging.
and like yeah, it's like some setups
I love
are
Splinter.
some setup are completely degenerate. I don't think that there should ever be a case where not blocking is better than blocking. Like that shouldn't happen, but it actually does happen, and so
Oh yeah, that's
more often than
that's something. Yeah, like Sphere Bloom, getting hit in Sphere Bloom setup sometimes is the right decision. You lose 3.5k just to not lose the whole round.
Hey, how nice of the character, how fair, and how totally balanced.
A good one is Subterranean Sun. You can take like 700 damage from one of those hits, and then in exchange for getting knocked down, you can just tech and like run through the entire duration. of
Subterranean
the
Sun is fucking garbage. Why do people still run this stuff?
No,
mean, like,
Mono I
that's
uses it to
Bolai.
cross up though.
Ask
I mean,
Bolai why he
Mono
runs
I
it.
has some like he actually combos into it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the reason why he runs it. He doesn't run it because it's a good pressure, like, because it's not. Like, Oku can't pressure you point blank, deal with it. If you can't fucking mesh out of Oku's pressure when she's like directly next to you, then tough luck, you're fucking bad.
Yeah, I never get it. Why do people get scared when they're point blank versus Oku?
Like,
That's
when you're
like
point blank
actually
versus
play 4A.
Oku, just press 4A. Just press 4A.
No way. Your 4A beats your 4A. That's a simple rule.
It doesn't, because there is frame advantage. Like,
What
Oku's
frame advantage?
disadvantage
I
is
block
after
4A.
everything.
Tell me, what is the frame advantage on blocked 4A? What is it?
-4?
Yeah, but you always cancel into stuff, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Actually, okay, yeah, I was actually right. It's -4.
When I drink in Soku, one of my
I'm
thoughts is
pretty
like,
sure-
I'm not gonna Oki that 4A. Nope, no way.
Never.
Same.
There are
I
too
was
many
okay
options from 4A.
Absolutely sure, but even then, it would be better to just bait it out and then counter it.
Yeah.
Okay, look,
No
look,
way I'm
that's
getting
why,
in there.
like, I'm not going to say that you just fucking jam that fucking 4A button and you will beat Oku. No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, you have to realize how Oku pressures. It's like, there is like, as soon as you see command melee, it's fucking done. She can't do shit in Subsan after command melee.
That's true. That's true.
Not after Subsun.
It's like, and by the way, even outside of Subsan, if you right block at the command melee, which is 6A or 3A, you're mostly out.
But
If you wrong blocked it, then yeah, there are some things
but
you have to respect.
you can do
Kinda.
3A after 6A.
Or and you know, Irish, instead you can do your 6A after 6A, and you will beat her. Wow,
No, my 6A is trash. It extends my
And even-
hitbox.
Irish, even it will beat that shit.
Dang.
Like there is like, if you right blocked 6A, let me check how bad is it. Okay, 6A. It's -5 on block. Add to this 13 frames of startup on 3A. It's like it's 18 frames. You're free to do anything. You can fucking, I don't know, fap in that time.
No, I'm free to press the escape button.
Alright, since we just have it here in the chat, let's move on. Irish, you're the last one out of this big group we have here. What do you like the most about Soku and what do you hate more? And I think on the latter part, why did you even quit Soku?
Why did I quit Soku?
No, why did you
Because
retire?
of the bad parts?
The bed's just too comfortable, dude. I'm just so glad that I can just lay down all day and be comfortable with my complete mediocrity. Anyway, best thing about Soku, favorite part about Soku, is I call it spell card science. It's what like spell card interactions are like. Whenever one person presses a spell card and the other person presses a spell card, what happens when two people use two spell cards against each other? That's my favorite part about Soku. It's fucking hype. Like, yeah, it's hype because like, let's say Yukari uses Train. Oh, Sanae woke up and used Moses' Miracle. You're fucking dead. Race and Whiffed LRE. I don't know, Ramelia just threw Gugnir at you, you're fucking dead. Like, I don't know, that stuff is just super cool to me, like the way that people punish spell cards with other spell cards. I also really like looking at ways to get around Fantasy Heaven. That's like my favorite part. I don't know, that's just cool. Like, using Suika's fucking mist to dodge Fantasy Heaven is just hilarious.
My favorite was using Raisin's 2-cost spell card where she turns invisible against Sanae's 5 card with the grid that she draws on the screen.
Oh yeah, it just makes the whole thing not work.
Isn't greed like, does it last less? I mean more.
I think it
It
lasts like...
doesn't.
I think
At
it
least
lasts
you can
less...
still hit the enemy.
Yeah, I think it lasts more time than Raisin's 2 card, but you can still get around like 90% of it. It's pretty good. And I guess my least favorite part about Soku, it's not really a problem with the game, because I don't have a problem with the game so much. It's just, in so many scenarios, I feel like whenever you're playing Soku, you perfectly predict what your opponent is about to do, and then you're like, alright, I know what he's about to do, I'm gonna react to it, and I'm gonna completely fuck him up. So then you press the button, a different input happens entirely, your opponent gets out for free and punishes you, and then you just like go in the back room and shoot yourself. That's what it feels like every time.
By shooting yourself,
cry every time.
are you talking about making a matchup chart for your character?
This is a fucking 9-1 matchup! 90% of the time I will lose, there was nothing I can do!
Actually, and you know, it brings to my point, like, if people are misinputting stuff with simple inputs and getting mad, why do we need to make it harder for them?
I don't know, but like, I don't think it needs to be any harder, honestly, because, I don't know, in Soku, like, inputs can get kind of weird. Like, let's say you press 6C, and then you press 623C, you have to let go of the 6 button, or else it just turns into a different input entirely. And that's
Having a
over so
DP
many
if you
things.
don't want it, that's the best.
Remember when, like, I mean, it's not remember, but where Ramus 668-236 nightmares.
Oh yeah, 66A into 236, and 66A into 623 even sometimes is a real nightmare.
And
Like-
66A into 623 actually works correct.
Yeah, I guess. It's a bit hard to do it like really fast sometimes though, since you have to let go of the button and press it again. I don't know, but
No,
yeah,
I kind of feel that. Like, you've probably seen me in tournaments at some point where I try to do like a basic patchy B&B, and then I go for the 236, but I end up doing a 623. I hate that shit. Oh god.
yeah, it's nothing that's wrong with Soku. It's just, but it's the part that makes you the most upset about Soku. When you know what to do and you just fuck up, and Yu Yu-Sama doesn't love you anymore.
It's like, at the same time, I thought about how input readers should work, and I'm not sure that removing input after recognizing it from the memory of input reader, let's call it that, is going to feel like, because it's going to give more issues. The thing I hate about inputs in Soku is that you can TK motions, but you can't TK motion cancel. Like, you can do...
That's so weird.
Like, and for those who don't know what TK motion is, it's like when you do fireball and without letting, like, as a part of inputs, you input a high jump. Like, instead of 236B, you input 236-9B. So what happens is you get a high jump and J236B. But in Soku, you can't do cancel. Like, if you do this 236-9B out of like your 5B, for example, so like you want 5B high jump cancel into J236B, it's just not going to happen. Like, special inputs don't get recognized, and the only exception for that is like 282 input.
Yeah, because 282 is really simple. I mean, and I don't know, it's just something about the way high jumps work, and the
It's
fact
like,
that you have high
when
jump
you have air usable 2-2, I get fucked all the time. Like, I don't know, I inputted so much. I misinput the drill combos of Tenshi into J22 way too many times for, like... I don't know why does 282 even read as, like, high jump J22?
I don't know,
What the
it's
fuck?
not that bad on Tenchi though, because, I don't know, you get J22 and that doesn't go away even if you're hit. It could be worse.
I mean... Yeah, it could be worse, like Aya's J22, where you're just left standing and complaining about your life decisions.
So yeah, that's me. I don't think Soku's really that bad about anything. I like the game.
Soku is great. It's like, for me, it's really hard to come up with stuff. And I just forgot to say something about what I like about Soku. I like the community behind Soku. I like the people that play it. I mean, half of the reason why I haven't stopped is because I like to talk with people who play, regulars or newer players, just like tell some stuff, shitpost with Irish.
What? I never do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay, Irish. I mean, have a deep discussion about values of life.
Have a deep discussion about the intricacies of building good copy pasta.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I don't know. I personally feel like if I would have I wouldn't have stayed for the community if I didn't love the game so much, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I put too much emphasis on the game, and I think if I see like people in the community memeing too much about Soku just because they're bad at it, like I just like annoys me. Honestly.
Who would that be?
Look, it's better now because it was worse, way worse in IRC, and I feel like I would have quit the game a long time ago if I didn't love Soku so much.
Damn.
I don't know, it just felt really toxic to me, honestly.
Oh yeah, IRC days were a little bit cancerous, just a bit.
And even
Right
now,
now
I
like,
don't
it's the same.
remember
I mean,
that.
look at this podcast.
Now we have contained shit posting.
yeah, but yet
Okay, like, guys,
some of you
guys,
still
let-
go into the Hisouten Soku channel and start, and this is the part where modding comes along, and like, oh my god,
guys,
I'm gonna
guys,
defend Zaton with all my life here.
Well, that will happen next episode.
What a mystery.
okay, guys, we should probably get to the part where we answer some questions because. I
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
now I can
kind
finally
of late.
start my stuff. Why
Because I
I
think we overshoot the initial expectations for this podcast's length.
we always
by an
do.
hour.
That will keep happening until we are at 6 hours per podcast.
Okay, Morph, there is a real question, so how does drinking specifically influence Suika gameplay aspects, pressure, defense, etc.?
In every aspect, the thing is, you get way riskier and do way more unsafe moves than you usually would. Also, you get really strange thoughts. What that means, for example, if I am mostly wasted, I don't fear the opponent, so I'm way more willing to mash. And okay, in other characters' cases, that doesn't help much, but if you play a high damaging character, mashing can lead to a great deal amount of damage. Also, you start to do some things that the enemy can't read really well because you don't know yourself what you're doing. So basically, you become more random. At least that's what I expect. Also, let's see other people who watch this and play in Dream Chasers. I always play Dream Chasers drunk. Do I change from my normal playstyle and? Do you have any? Why do you fear drunk morph more than the normal morphman?
Wait, Morphin, why do you play Dream Chasers drunk? Is there
It's to
some like
celebrate.
backgrounds I am not following?
I don't know.
It's
I just
it's
like
the day of
alcohol, but I just like alcohol, and I think it makes me better. I mean, Splinter at least tells me I'm getting better at that, and I don't know. What do the others say? We have got viewers who participate in Dream Chasers. I mean, I get blown up in defense anyway, so getting drunk makes me more experimental and YOLO mode through pressure.
So you
If that
see,
works
Morph,
out.
you just need to press more buttons and then you're gold.
Oh, great! I should become. Also, yeah, we get more closer to our character that way. I mean, come on, Zuika's almost drunk and you're drunk as well, so you get her mindset and actually can immerse into that character, you know?
Okay, Yosopal
I
thinks
just-
that you're
every time-
harder. Yosopal thinks that you're harder to beat when you're like sober.
Yusupal
I kind of
is
agree.
lying. He just wants me to get sober because he knows he's losing more against drunk morph. That's the thing.
Ah, yes, the classic. He's tricking you, sending you
Yeah.
out on the bamboozling.
Okay, so
I know the
Morph,
tricks, Yosupal.
Morph, why is Raisin the best character in the game?
Well, finally, you know, people, I've been waiting 10 episodes for this. I've been waiting 10 podcasts to finally shit talk Raisin. I mean, okay, let's say everyone here, and I guess you guys, the viewers, as well as the people here in the podcast, you all say Raisin is super good character that's also broken, and even in the tier list, she is S+. Okay, let's just explain to me why. First of all, let's break it down to simple fact. Let's pick neutral. Every Raisin so far in neutral presses 5B, J5B, 6B. Yeah, that's all. Maybe if the enemy does a lot of bullets, she uses a C bullet to pierce through it, but that's it. I've never seen her use a 214 in neutral, or a 236 in neutral, or a 22 in neutral, or her 623. I've never seen those moves used in neutral. So she basically just has her QQ bullets and then the piercing C bullet, and okay, sometimes the charged 5C bullet. Okay, that these three are the only moves Raisin uses. So in
What about the
neutral,
godlike melee? What the fuck?
so in neutral, you basically have to guess between three moves, and they all have the same grace patterns. So I don't see how Raisin neutral is considered strong. She can't cancel out of
Okay,
these
more.
bullets.
The issue is that she has melee, like her melee.
Her
aerial
melee. Okay, we've got 6-6A, which I admit is good. Okay, fine. Then she has... What other melee move is good? 4-5A?
Like in neutral, she like okay. We're talking about Raisin. Raisin,
Yeah.
like okay, on the ground she has best 6-6A in the game.
That's
Like,
what I'm
it's-
agreeing with. She has 6-6A and it's also tied
Okay,
into 3-6.
as melee, and she doesn't really need to like many more tools for neutral there. Also, like her far 5A is one of the best anti-airs in the game.
How is it the best? I mean, most other characters have a farther range and it's faster. I think
I'm-
Machi has a farther
I'm
range,
more-
Uso has a
we-
farther range, and Suika
Okay.
has a farther range.
Wait, what Suika? Like I'm talking about far 5A as an anti-air tool. Like which
As an
other
anti-air
character
tool,
except
alright.
which other character except Tsuko and maybe Kamachi 3A actually like can beat that as anti-air melee? And
They
having
have better anti-airs when I think about it. Utsu's 3A, for example, it's the better
Yes.
anti-air than Raisin 6-6A.
okay, what
Komachi
else?
4A or 6-6A is also getting used way better as an
Sakuya
anti-air.
Sakuya
Sakuya 2B
3A.
or 3A.
We are not
they also
talking
beat it.
about bullets. We're not talking about bullets here because
Well,
Raisin
me
has
neither.
6B.
If
We
you
are
just
talking-
narrow it down to bullet, if you just narrow it down to stuff that beats melee, the stuff that beats air approach with melee, then yes, that's racing. That doesn't necessarily make it a good anti-air though, because I feel like
It makes
anti-air
it-
in this game is a lot more broad. Like there's stuff like preemptive anti-airs, there's stuff like bullet anti-airs, and there's stuff that like if you ask Frudia, she says that the best anti-air you've got is 2A as Suika. And that's not gonna hit
What?
people off the air. That's just gonna go under them. And as soon as they land, you just hit them with 2A again, and they get hit by that. Like that makes sense. Even though it doesn't feel like an anti-air, it's still an anti-air.
I
And that's why I
remember
feel-
I played.
that's why I
Suika.
feel like stuff like Sanae 2A is a better anti-air than Raisin's F5A, just because Raisin's F5A has like what 2 frames of active hitboxes. That's nothing. Like every single J5A has more active frames than Raisin's F5A. I
Also,
think
yeah.
except like Marissa. I
mean,
think.
okay, look, but at the same time, just by that far 5A existing, she gets an anti-air options that many other characters lack. There's like half.
Let's
Actually,
pick a
over.
load here. Let's pick a load here. Sanae, for example, has that 6A, which I think has better
No.
range than her 6-6
No.
arrows. Even if not,
Sanae-
6A is pretty plus.
Okay,
and
look,
it's
I am
one of
going
the
to
best
link.
ones.
I am going to link you the actual hitbox for Sanaya 6A. It's the graphics are way larger than her like actual hitbox, and its ability to be used as an anti-air is extremely limited to it like.
But I think my rap is mostly about neutrals. Raisin has 3 neutral moves, and they are all countered by the same pattern of Raisin. At least that's how I see it.
It's
And if I
like-
compare it, for example, for Sanae, who has the B bullets, which are not that fast, but still cover a lot of range. She has the star, which is incredibly dense. She has the blue stars in the air, which can cover the entire screen, basically. And on top of that, she has the Kanako charge, which is also a grazing move and insanely fast with a massive hitbox. Like,
Yeah, you're not
that's
wrong.
what
I think Sanae's neutral is on par or at least better than Raisin's.
Or
Like,
pick another character like Patchouli. She has also a very dense move. She has a 5C which covers a lot of range. I don't see. I mean, versus those characters, you have to graze in different patterns. Versus Raisin, it's always the same pattern.
It's not the same pattern because you're not respecting Raisin's movement. Raisin's
No.
bullets are extreme, like Raisin's bullets, unlike Patchouli's bullets, have motion cancels extremely early into the animation to the point where you can cancel 5B animation even before third bullets come out, which is very important. And she has
Then
extremely.
what can you cancel
and-
into a 5C which is slower?
You
or into
don't.
a 2 for
I'm
6, which
talking
is slower.
about motion cancels, Morphman.
It doesn't matter. These cancels don't mean anything. The enemy will
What do you
graze
mean
through.
they don't mean anything?
They
I'm
don't
going.
mean with
I am-
Raisin, they don't mean anything with someone
Guys,
else. That's something else.
guys.
Look at Yuyuko. With Yuyuko,
Thanks for the Raisin podcast.
stuff.
Morphin, I am going to die because if you think that motion cancel is
Okay.
not important for moves usability in neutral, I can't I'm not sure what to tell you. Like that statement is so far off reality. I am baffled.
I mean, look at this. I don't border escape versus. I don't border escape at all, except for one character. It's Raisin, and I do it very well actually. I'm not scared of Raisin pressure. I'm more scared of Sanae pressure because that shit catches. Raisin, what can she do? She can fall out with a J5A, fine, and that's like if you border escape the 236, you're basically out. Unless the enemy has a super sick read on that, fine, then you get it. But any other character, if you border escape just at the slightly wrong spot, you're dead. In Raisin, you can border escape wrongly and it works.
I even Hisou, this is amazing.
I can attest to that.
That's
I
how
border
I see
escape
it,
that
you
shit
know?
all the time.
You know, that's why I'm so baffled by why Raisin is considered so god tier when I've never seen Raisin blowing me as much up before as someone else with a different character. Like,
Because you have fucking glaring issues that are more easily exploited by other characters?
I don't think I don't think there's a single
damage is low as fuck. I mean, you limit a combo for 2.5k. Okay,
Who
fine.
cares about damage? I is one of the best characters in the game and her combos reach like 1.8. Who the fuck cares? Damage is not relevant. What's relevant is fucking pressure, movement, and okay.
She does
Damage
damage
is relevant?
okay, that's it.
Hold up now.
Damage
Movement
becomes
also because she's slow as
irrelevant
hell.
when you have
Like-
the rest. Look,
Who the
Aya.
fuck cares about Raiden damage? I mean, not Raiden, like, who the fuck cares about damage when this character can consistently break 2 orbs? Like, to actually get out of Raiden's pressure, let's call it safely, you need to do fucking 2 border escapes. 2!
Who the
That's
fuck
what you
needs
need.
to border escapes for Raisin? What the hell?
What is? Are
I
you
don't
joking?
know!
You
I
have to
don't-
put the escape.
I don't know, Morphman, I don't know, maybe
I need to blame Blaze's Raisin to actually understand what you guys are talking about. For me, it's if I look at the tier list, I'm like, Raisin is just up there because Blaze plays her. That's it.
No,
reason.
that's not the reason.
I mean, honestly, 2 orb.
Yeah, Blaze.
Using 2 orb and pressure should already be a thing.
Get the fuck!
Versus
God damn
almost
it!
every single character.
God damn it!
You should be able to-
like
So, like-
Morphman, I'm not sure that you follow the and you played versus many I don't know what about your experience, but
I'm back. Are
Raisin
you guys
can.
still being autistic?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up, Irish.
I'm actually gonna. I'm not even
Scream at this
listening.
point. This is just autism.
It's like, okay, look, Morphman, do you know that Raisin has a move called with the input of up plus A in air? It's like
Wow.
this shit catches any border escape, you're forced to block after border escape. And if you block after border escape, then Raisin, knowing that, can fucking force you into the J5A pressure. And if you don't block J8A, you get blown up by J8A into J5C charges for whatever, 2k, 1.8 or 2k, whatever. Doesn't fucking
Raisin
matter.
charge, I know I can grace out of that. She has bullshit charges anyway.
I am not talking. You are getting hit if you try to move. That's the point. You border escape into block versus Raisin because Raisin has good air melee. That's what.
But
I'm
I mean,
going to call it.
that applies to a lot of characters though. Like, come on, Tenshi, you're blocking in the air after border escaping no matter what.
I mean, at the same time, after Tenshi does J8A, she can do the bullshit Raisin does with J44, J8A, another to catch and to force you to respect her J8A. Like Tenshi does.
But what else can she do? Tell
Well,
me,
she
does
can
has
do
another-
Quake.
Look,
Yes,
Morphman,
I
as
think
soon as
that
you
I'm
respect.
crazy.
Look,
What can she do after that J8A? Basically, she can cancel into a B bullet which will grace out, or a C bullet which will also grace out. She also does not have any melee
And
skills,
then
so
she cancels
after that you were through it. That's it.
Morphman, as soon as you she can cancel her B bullets into back air backdash into melee, and you're forced to block that shit. By the way,
I
because
have
it
to see
hits.
that myself. I don't believe it. I've never seen it. Okay, unfortunately, we don't have many
okay,
races
guys,
here.
let's end this autism because I am going to go insane from this.
Fight me with your race and show me.
Can I get back now?
Sure.
Okay,
sure,
anyone has
absolutely.
any
I had my
other
rant.
question? Okay, Irish
had my
09
rant.
Slasher is asking Kran. Oh wait, it's
Oh
Irish.
man.
Yeah,
We are.
I already gave up on this podcast. I joined Rand's host.
Do we have?
Why?
We reach what's the word God damn it, Zero.
Brain
Zero,
melt.
please. We reached the climax, but do we have any more questions? Or otherwise, I think we are boiled down to the core, to this very core right now.
You asked about the future of Soku sets, but we don't have any answer
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah,
everyone
you should
was
ask
going
him.
out.
Answer isn't here.
Wait,
Everyone
actually,
was
what happened to
optimistic.
Sokusat? Why would the people be concerned about their future?
I think this year is going to change the format once we strike the number 100, which is very close.
I actually think he's going to make those tourneys themed now, like like the Civil War thingy or the magician stuff.
maybe.
I think he's
That sounds-
trying to change it there, and that sounds more reasonable at least.
That sounds
If you
dumb.
ask me.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think,
Speculation.
I don't think Tessir is going to stop any of his tournaments. They're just going to turn it into something else. We already have a lot of tournaments already. If Sokusat does stop becoming a thing and there aren't the weekly brackets that you're looking for, somebody's going to make something, without a doubt.
Yeah, he said he was gonna make it BO3, change all the rules, because the original rules were really not were based on Japanese. I don't remember. It was really strange stuff from the time.
Wait, Japanese rules, single elimination, best of one?
Yeah, I think so. So I remember like that at least.
God.
Whatever. We aren't done with tourneys anyway. That's the major point, I think. Anything else we have? Because the autism was too strong for like.
I actually died.
I just decided to stand back, rest a bit because my brain was already dying before. So, oof. Good job, Morph. Proud of you.
I told you I was waiting 10 episodes for this to happen. I mean, we also lost 3 viewers as far as I can tell.
Morphin, I don't understand how you can pretend to be good at the game and not.
I don't pretend I know I'm fucking shit, but I know I'm dying to other people's pressure because it's fucking more insane than anything Raisin could ever throw at me.
I mean, like, Raisin can do, like... Raisin is so plus after 5C. Like, not even 236, even 5C. She can jump, dash to the ground, land, and do 4A, and you will be fucked.
Wait, no, not wait. Jump and then fly down and jab, right? Because
Yeah,
if you jump,
yeah.
fly down, and then dash, you're minus.
No, I was just trying about, like, high jump, fly down, and then jump. Like,
And then what happens? Oh god, 2k damage, huh?
And then she gets into fucking another mix-up where she can break your, like, she can make your wrong block her stuff.
I mean, for me, it's the same as with any other character. The thing is, Raisin breaks maybe an orb, or if I get hit, I take 2k damage. And with any other deck character, I get crushed and take at least 4k damage by any random shit. Raisin can't do that much damage unless she has LRB.
I mean, even Oku can't do fucking 4k of
You
guard
did it on
crash.
stream just a few hours ago.
It wasn't of crash!
Not a
That
crush.
was a fucking claw! Higher counter
No
with
idea that
level
much. That's what I said.
there! How the fuck can you be so bad?
What if you are all bad and I am the best on this game? Have you ever considered that, people?
Yes, I have considered people and I decided that I can't live in such a world. It can't be that bad. The world has to make sense.
But yeah, don't we have any more questions? I mean, okay, Coke was going to fight Blaze Dragon after this podcast.
I
He's basically
think
occupied.
the reason question kind of destroyed everything else. So
It
That was the
destroyed my
point. I was
mind.
prepared for it.
But why do you even take damage into the consideration? I mean, like, damage matters a bit. But it's like... The big damage doesn't really make characters significantly stronger.
If you ask me, versus Utsuo, for example, you make 3 mistakes, basically 3 combos, and you're dead. Versus Raisin, you make 1 mistake and take 2k. Okay, it sucks, of course. You will make easier mistakes, I admit that. But you can take more mistakes, which makes a lot of difference.
Yeah,
At the same time, Raisin snowballs harder. Like, when you are down a few orbs versus Oko, like, if you're broken like 2 orbs versus Oko, the situation is really bearable, because as soon as you get out, she struggles with chasing you. And it's easier to escape Oko's stuff, because she has to, like, her catches for escapes are hard reads. So, like, she has to... The reason her catches can be done on reaction by... I mean, it's not easy, but it can be done, and there are actual follow-ups to catches that are not simple, like disengages. She can continue pressures after her catches being blocked. She just it's just more oppressive playing versus her, because she snowballs way harder. That's about it. It's like, as soon as you make 1 mistake and get 1, like, you made 2 mistakes, if you're on 3 orbs and you're forced to block Raisin, you're fucked. Like, it's that simple.
I think we have reached the end. I think Adepht really needs to, because it's like 1 AM there.
It's not too bad. It's like 0-20 minutes.
I mean, the podcast is already going on for 3 hours and 20 minutes now. So
Irish
I think we have overdone it. So
I became Irish now.
I think it's fine. We can actually close it out. Time for shilling before closing as usual. Irish isn't here, but I guess stay tuned for more tourneys. They will come.
I got you, Genki.
Eventually. Oh? You got the
Alright,
shilling.
I got the shillings.
Go,
So,
let's go.
of course, thanks again for watching and putting up with 3 hours and 30 minutes of Soku Podcast.
Of nonsense.
Of a shitcast.
Nonsense. This was the shit posting
That's the best
episode.
podcast. What the hell? We don't need characters, because we digress into character-specific stuff like half the time. Everything went to either Raisin or Oko at the end.
Nevertheless, we will definitely cover them, as that is our goal. If you're looking for more Soku content, we have a whole lot of streamers who do Soku stuff. We got Blaze Dragon here, whom he could probably tell you he does a lot of high quality gameplay. He has a YouTube channel. We got people like Ionator, we got people like Tessiro. Just feel free to check them out. You can find them on YouTube. If you're looking for more Soku content on my channel, we do have another tournament coming up on September 1st. It'll be DC number 10, I believe. And after that, we will have another podcast. We'll go back to the character topics following the September 9th, which is going to be the Cerno episode. And other than that, we do have September 23rd for the Magician's Duel tourney run by Tessiro. It's going to be Marissa versus Alice versus Patchouli. It's going to be another team-based duel, and I think there's going to be an elimination period, but we'll tell you how that goes probably next episode.
Anything else?
And also, I want to ask you people with the organization team, do we really want to have a Cerno episode next time just for the meme? Really? I mean...
Come on! If it's not Cirno, it's going to be Iku.
It's tradition.
Iku, we have people, but who should we get for Cerno, for example?
I don't even know.
I can do it.
I mean, the next episode, for those who don't understand, the next episode will be on 9th of September, so it's like the memiest date for the Cerno episode. and this community of podcasters want to, after missing the 9th podcast being for some reason Oko episode instead of Cerno, they want to meme more.
That was kind of random. More.
Yeah, why not having it in 2019?
Why not in 2 years? I mean,
but I gotta shut it down, guys. So let's go ahead and say peace here.
are we missing anything? I don't think so.
Thanks to everyone who watched this.
No, sorry for everyone to watch this.
No, wait. They shouldn't be sorry, because we are amazing. I mean, if you don't think we are amazing and doing a great job, then what are you doing here?
You're just spurring you around.
I think we are definitely done. It's fine. Thanks for being here, guys. We will see you next Friday for this Soku for the DC. See you there.
See you later,
See
guys.
ya. See ya.
See you later.
Bye bye.